to. We will start. So, last time in the Isle of Forgotten Flames, session 40, I believe. Today's session 41. Not mistaken.
Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z. Y'all had begun your journey from the southern city of Tefaloth to the slightly more western city it's commonly referred to as Port Umberley. Just another large coastal city. It'll take about 20 days. Y'all started off. There were a couple storms that delayed y'all ever so slightly due to y'all wanting to be a little bit more cautious. In general, most of you that were present that weren't asleep, i.e. Feng, Saito, and Art, y'all went around and kind of got to know the carnival better, started kind of learning how they work, worked with the 4 kids, the other security detail of the carnival, and kind of set up some ground rules, boundaries, things like that. You would learn that Clario, the mother of the acrobat family, an elven woman, they had taken one of those barrels of water, barreled up some of the water that was magical teleporting water. And so y'all decided that was bad. So you went over there, Feng punched a couple holes in it. There was somebody in the woods that was watching y'all, but you never quite figured out who that was. Glassjaw spent a little bit of time sparring with Feng. He's very lazy. He did not want to work with Art. He pretty much did nothing but sleeping and pretending to study and work most of the time. Feng, you discovered that Management's trailer is a series of 4 different trailers that goes off kind of when no one's looking, when y'all make break for the night, and kind of stays a little isolated. And when you go in the morning and it joins back into the group, it's a new trailer. Very interesting. One of the nights you awaken and there's a murder. The fearsome Adam, the strongman, Gregory, who you had chatted with briefly during these times, he had a very large laceration from ear to ear underneath on his neck, and it was clear that he was dead pretty instantly. This happened on the watch of the kids, the 4 kids on the other side of the carnival. Y'all did a little bit of scolding. As you begin to investigate this, you learned that the strong man was actually a Goliath, because when he was dead, he had lost his transformation magic. And through investigation, you learned that there were talismans, small bits of some type of a paper type material with runes on them that were sewn into the skin and the clothing of the strongman. You investigated his trailer, and you found a book on transmutation magic that had been, some of the pages have been taken out, and you're unsure exactly what those were, but you do understand that they pertain to a type of ritual that is used to essentially turn oneself into something a little different. For those familiar with magic, this would definitely be considered taboo type of usage of magic. Feng, you went and told Zoomed Off about the trailer. He told you, yeah, I know, don't worry about it. Keep doing your job. Feng also used an invisibility potion to go look at all the laundry of everyone that was drying it on top of their trailers to see if there were any sewn-in patches. And roughly 17, 18 days have gone by. Y'all are currently about 2 or 3 days, depending on the weather, from the outside, the outskirts of the city of Port Umberley. The plan when you get there is the carnival will stay about a few miles outside the city. They'll set up, and then they'll go into town and advertise. And then people can come and pay to watch. Y'all are all expected to check in at the local Ravens Guild, the Ravens Nest, as an update on your mission and to receive any extra information. So with that said, y'all have 2 to 3 days to kind of figure some things out. We'll say at the moment, y'all have just woken up and it is morning. What would y'all like to do?
I'm going to dip one more of my silver darts into the wyvern poison.
Okay. Where do you keep this dart?
The same place I kept the other dart. On me, where I can get it out quick and shoot it.
Okay. I'll say give me a survival check, DC 5.
This is no good.
Your experience with poisons is limited, though it is not 0. And wyvern poison being one of the more potent out there, it's very difficult to deal with. So when it's applied to an arrow, it's a little different because it's in a quiver.
20.
Wonderful. You successfully have crafted or commissioned a small leather strap, almost like a satchel or belt. On you, it's so small. And inside of this satchel, you have these, I would say, comically large-sized darts. They're kind of like those Nerf footballs for you. But for most people, they would just be like a slightly smaller dart. Okay.
Starting not to like this poison stuff. Got to roll for it.
All right, so we presume that the murderer is still hiding amongst the carnies. So we need to figure out who they are before we reach down and they make like the wind.
Yep.
Turn that down.
That was loud.
It was very loud.
To the dead guy, what he knows who killed him.
You're breaking up. I have no idea what you said.
Do we know what killed him?
He had a single laceration across his throat. We're unsure if it is weapon or some kind of nail from a beast or something, but it's a single slash mark across his throat.
Was saying, have we tried talking to him to see if he knew who killed him?
Well, none of us had that ability, and we've already burned his body, so... Because that was like 15 days ago. So, well, we know that there is some kind of markings on said individual's clothing and body, or we assume so.
So we're trying to find another person that might have those markings that might have stolen.
Yeah, they'd have some little paper talisman stitched into each piece of clothing, and some kind of several runic somethings stitched onto their person.
Stitched onto the skin?
Yeah,
Correct.
y'all believe that from skimming through the book at a kind of a quick glance, the book looks at different type of shape-changing abilities. It references spells like polymorph, alter self, as well as the druid's wild shape, creatures like doppelgangers and changelings, and it attempts to kind of crudely break down those abilities into slightly more basic runes, and it's a very dangerous type of magic. One might call it a type of voodoo magic.
Did you tell him about your idea, Feng?
Yeah, but I was thinking we could tell someone some kind of disease is going around, so we would have to check everybody to make sure they don't have it. Well, Art was going to tell them.
Yeah, we
but
could say that we caught something from those frogs that we just found out about, and one of you healer types fixed, but we're not sure if we pass it on to anybody else, so we need to inspect them to see if they have any signs or symptoms or anything. I mean, other than outright blasting everybody with a moonbeam and pissing everyone off. Those are our two options, basically. And it's probably best not to piss off everybody in this. And lose, I guess, the friendliness that we've had so far. And make our job harder.
Well, they weren't very friendly to me. Or I wasn't friendly.
Probably a bit of both, knowing you. So what's anybody think of that idea, or do they have their own? This is partially why Feng was flying through laundry to see if he could find anything on a good chunk of the caravan's clothing, but found nothing.
Worth a shot.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it wasn't, but we know, I don't know, 15% that aren't.
What can they say? No?
No to what?
Our idea?
Well,
Who's they? We're
we
discussing the idea now.
Like, if we go forward with it, what are they going to say? No? All they can say is
Well, I mean,
no, right?
Zoomdov said he'd line them up. So basically, it's, do we want to try and trick everybody to not be pissed off at us, or do we want to hurt everybody with this moonbeam and get them pissed off at us? And two, our idiot bird goblin who can do the moonbeam is still asleep.
Idiot bird goblin.
Guys, yeah, Dylan. I mean, I think the literal Dylan is asleep, and Ziggy is also asleep.
Bum.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I guess that leaves us back to one plan. What?
I guess we'll go talk to Zoomdorf and see if he can go with that, unless anyone has another better plan.
Anybody have any other ideas to strip search everybody?
If only we had a bard to seduce everyone.
True.
Seduce the dragon.
Alright, who's gonna go talk to Zoomdorf?
Not me.
He already knows that we're trying to do this, correct? And we just had to come up with it.
You had mentioned it to him, and he had said, "Look, if you can come up with a good reason, I can support it. But if you don't, then he's not going to kind of ostracize his group over something that, while a concern to him, is not worth that risk."
So who wants to have been the diseased?
I was.
Perfect. You're the smallest one. It would have affected you the fastest.
That's right, my metabolism.
His heart beats at like 6 times the normal.
Well, fucking hummingbird over there.
Yeah.
That's why he's been acting so weird lately.
That's right.
Doesn't try to steal something once.
Have you checked your bags lately?
Alright, I'll go find little man zoomed off.
Okay. They're about to head out, so you kind of walk over to his area, and you see him kind of just making sure everybody's up and at him for the day. Alright, Hart, what is it?
Well, I mean, I'm sure you remember those frogs that we had to fight the other day, save everybody. Apparently they had some kind of disease, fungus. I have no idea what it is. It's not my specialty, but a little fairy friend here who's small size and fast metabolism apparently sped up the process of whatever this disease was. And so we just learned that they spread whatever it is to us, and he was cured, so there's no need to worry about that. But we're not sure if it's can be spread by contact or just air. So it seems that we may have to check out everyone involved to make sure he didn't spread it or we didn't spread it to anybody else.
So, Cody, would you be attempting... I mean, because this information is a lie, right?
Correct.
Are you attempting to lie to Zoomed Off, or are you essentially persuading him that this is a good... So it's like, do you want to deceive him or persuade him right here? Is kind of what I'm asking.
I will... It doesn't matter. I'll persuade him since he already knows we're looking to do this.
Unless he's a murderer. Yeah, persuade him. You're right.
Well, I mean, if no one else is clean, then we can check him afterwards. Would you say roll it?
Yep, go for it.
17 and 7, 24.
Nice. So, in this instance, as you're kind of describing this, he's kind of talking you through his thoughts. Well, we have a few medical people on staff. I will maybe give them a small task to deal with and tell them it is of utmost importance that they're not too involved in this search, as they might catch on to the deception. Other than that, I cannot promise that some of the more temporary members of our crew will comply. However, I give you my permission to stealthily search their quarters when I talk with them later this evening. Does this sound good?
I think that's something we can work with.
Okay. Well, since we're about to leave, we'll do this evening, or we can do it at our midday stop. I'm not sure how much time you would need, but I believe in the evening would be better.
I agree with that.
Alright then. Everyone, let's get on the road. We've got a long day ahead of us. Everyone hops in their caravan and the train takes off.
To clarify, he's saying he gives us permission to like go through their rooms to check their clothes, not check their person, correct?
Yeah, so what Zoomed Off is offering, he's saying, look, the carnival is this group of people, you know, it's kind of maybe about 2/3 of the group that you have encountered here. There's the roadies, the people that are just kind of, like, we take care of the wagons, we do. They're not actually part of the show, right? Those people are, let's just say, on a lower rung in the carnival. So they don't really respect Zoomed Off, they don't have to listen to them, you know, that kind of thing. So their quarters being a set number of trailers, you would be able to, well, Zoomed Off takes them off to check something, look at something, you would be able to search their trip. Of course, stealthily, so, you know, he would imply that, like, he's not going to cover for you. If you get caught, you get caught. And if you make a mess and they discover it, you know, it is what it is. But the majority of the carnival, he is going to order them to listen to y'all. Doesn't mean they will, but that is the option you've been given.
All right.
While on the road, who will be managing the reins for the horses? Up to 2 people.
I'll do it again.
Olgram? You say yes?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright, Olgram, animal check. Saito, animal check. Animal handling check.
Aminal.
Animal animal quacks.
13.
10.
10. Okay. That's fine. You know, no crazy maneuvers are being performed. Let's hope nothing goes wrong. But just the steady following distance behind the wagon in front of you. You're able to maintain it throughout the day. Y'all be on the road for the better part of 8 hours with a couple stops here and there. Is there anything in particular each of you would like to do during the daytime? The carnival train is moving. Somebody could hop off y'all's cart that you have and run up to another cart, but it's moving at a pretty fast pace, so you're pretty much stuck being in a cart for most of the day unless you can fly, or you prefer to jog.
Okay, so we don't have horses.
There are 2 horses pulling the caravan you were in.
Well, I mean, just riding horses.
No.
Okay.
Don't we have a statue of a magic horse?
You do.
We do.
So one person could have a horse if they wanted. But I would like you to teach me investigation skills if possible. Mine are pretty lacking, and I seem to go out looking for stuff often. Think you could do that?
Definitely could, but I'm not sure I could help you look for things on this cramped carriage. But I'd be more than happy to help you.
All right. Well, whenever we get the chance.
Maybe on one of these rest stop breaks.
Sounds good. Otherwise, I'm just sharpening my shurikens.
Getting ready.
Just share chickens.
Anybody else?
I'm reading Sand in the Rainforest.
I want to be talking to my spirits and see if there's anybody that they are more wary of that's around us. Anybody gives them kind of weird vibes, weird feeling.
Sure. Give me a religion check in this case. Paul?
13?
13. As you talk with your spirits, their memories, their knowledge, ever since you've kind of been in this carnival, everything's been a little off. And they can't really give you a good answer, though they definitely seem wary of, I would just say, the general vibe of the entire place. So maybe the culture of this carnival. It seems that those that have passed on might have a little beef with some of the people here. Either they're too afraid to relinquish that information, unable to relinquish that information, or they don't remember the specifics. Art. What's your intelligence score?
14.
14. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and give me an intelligence check.
11.
Okay. Alright, it's a good book. If there's nothing else, specifically, eventually there's the midday stop. Horses are led to water, given plenty of food, and given a small break in the shade. The wheels and axles of the wagons are checked. People get out and stretch their legs and try to shake off some of the vibrations that kind of rattle their bones throughout the days and days of travel. hop back on, continue onwards as the sun slowly sets behind you in the west. In front of you in the west, rather. Right as it's about to peak below the horizon, you watch in the grasslands as you go over a small local hill that you end up surrounded by a fairly large grove of trees. Once the wagons all pull into this grove, there's an area that looks like it has been used before that y'all kind of circle the entire caravan around and form a pretty good line that y'all can leave the trailers as you rest for the night. This will be a little bit of a shorter stop tonight, so most people will just be cooking and sleeping, so you'll have to act relatively fast if you wish to perform this option of searching. But with that, y'all are all stopped for the evening.
But we're stopped and he's got everybody occupied, or no?
So there's two parts. There's everyone is going to be asked to come. The roadies are
Right,
not
and there's the
gonna come.
roadies.
The roadies are
Yeah,
not.
they're the ones who's trying to occupy.
And then Zoomed Off is going to, at a separate time, say, "Hey, roadies, I need your help with this thing." So y'all are
Gotcha.
kind of in charge of how you exactly want to orchestrate that timing-wise. So just go get Zoomed Off and whenever you're ready.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So how many wagons do the roadies use?
The roadies wagons, they have a lot of equipment in them, so they probably have about 8. I would say about 8 wagons in total. Quite a bit of space to search. These wagons, some of them are 35, almost 40 feet long.
I mean, who here can be stealthy? I mean, I know Feng can. I can send
I
Ruby
can.
down into another cart while he's going, so we have 2 searches going on.
My stealth is
I
horrible.
don't think our 2 armored friends here will be much help sneaking around anywhere.
No, especially.
Could always take your armor off.
Yeah.
The DM loves it when you do that.
My dex isn't helping me any either, though.
Do we want to try and sneak into theirs at night, or in the morning have him go help have him call them to do something early on before we take off and try and sneak through then?
You do it at night on the I think night's the best, just because the darker it is, the easier it's going to be to sneak in and out of them.
True. And then in the morning have him call everybody up, or the other actual carnies.
Yeah.
Alright, that works.
Yeah.
So do you want to try and sneak him off to Zoomed Off and discreetly let him know that we'd like him to call in their attention now?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Actually, you know what? I can just send him a message if I see him. So I won't actually be that close to him to tell him.
Okay, you do that then. So who else is going to be able to sneak around? Does anyone have Pass Without a Trace, or is it just... Where is he gone?
You have it, and
I passed with Trace.
our Sleepy Bird friend has passed without a trace.
Yeah.
I have invisibility.
How the hell do you have invisibility?
That works too.
That also doesn't make you any quieter, though.
True.
Invisibility paired with no armor, though, that makes quite a big difference.
Just a large 6-foot dragonborn, black dragonborn, sneak around in the dark.
Excuse me.
I'm gonna use detect evil good, walk around, look at people, for the duration that it lasts, and just try to see as many of the different people as I can.
Okay.
creep out as many people as you can.
Right, as we're looking at the carnival, we're going around. People are out there getting ready for meals and stuff like that. Try to, see if I can pick up anything. I mean, I know it doesn't pick up everything, but just try to get a vibe or get a feel for what people are around.
Okay.
I'll do the. I'll strip naked and, or at least take my armor off and do invisibility and help Feng.
You have a potion?
I have a spell.
So, Paul, the
Hold
spell
that one.
lasts for 10 minutes.
Right.
You could walk, I would say, pretty much the entire resting.
Oh, never mind. I can't use it.
In that time, though some people have kind of headed off into the woods to maybe gather some stuff. So if you would like to do 2 or 3 castings of it, I would say you'd be able to encompass everybody except the management trailer. But I will leave that up to you.
No, I'll just do one. I mean, like I said, it's just to get a cursory look as much as I can right now.
Absolutely.
Get a feel. And while I'm walking around, I'll have my skull and be talking to it as I'm looking around, my normal way. I try not to draw any attention, more attention to myself than what normal.
What talking to a skull will do.
But that's normal for me.
Yeah.
I'm always talking to my skull.
In
Harrison always talking to me.
In this carnival, I would say you stand out a little less than than normal, so almost blending in at times. Sure, Paul. There in the spell it specifically states certain thicknesses of materials can kind of cut this out. So go ahead and give me an Arcana check, and we'll see if you can maybe circumvent a little bit of that.
So we have Feng searching
11.
one chunk. Ruby searching one chunk. I guess Saito said he's out. He can't actually cast a spell or something.
It says touch a creature.
You can touch yourself.
Okay, I count as a creature. Okay, then I can do it then.
Okay, so he's back in.
Where's Ruby? Art?
Not on this plane right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought you said your bird was going to help with.
Yeah, I mean I can just snap
Okay.
and call her in.
Oh no, I know you can. I was unsure what the exact
Yeah, I hadn't done anything with her yet.
timing was. Okay.
And
Okay. Yeah. So, Paul, go ahead.
part of what I'm doing as I'm doing this is to keep an eye if anybody starts to head toward where they're going to do the search. That way I can try to yell out, speak loud to my skull or whatever, just as a kind of warning, right? Draw attention and stuff like that.
Absolutely. So, if y'all go grab Zoomed Off, he can grab the roadies, or if you would like him to grab the rest of the crew. So, which one are y'all doing at the moment?
He needs to grab the roadies right now.
Okay. So, Zoomed Off heads over to the roadies and says, you kind of hear him talking like, "Hey, we're about to stop for a few days, and I just want to get kind of a 2-week survey of y'all working with us and understand, your needs and concerns and whatever, some kind of managerial BS that he spits out." And they all seem pretty interested in the possibility of, continuing their work, and others maybe not. But you don't have a head count for the roadies, but you watch as a large group of them all head in that general direction. Paul, I'll say you have walked by at this point quite a few people in the carnival. The tech deal and good is about to wear off. You would get a very strong Fey sense from Clario, who is the elven female acrobat. Her height and build is a little atypical for an elf, so she's probably a Fey elf and not a material plane elf.
Okay.
Other than that, there's no abjuration, celestial elementals, fiends, or undead. that you're able to pick up. On the magical consecration or desecration, yeah, there would be nothing in this current iteration that you would see.
Okay.
Alright, so who's sneaking over to the Roadies trailers?
Ruby going.
I am.
Go ahead and give me stealth checks on your way.
Since I'm invisible, do I get a what's it called?
Advantage.
Advantage.
I can't recall. Let me check. Some things invisible either gives you. Let's see. There is no bonus for being invisible, but you cannot be seen. So I take that into account.
Stealth check. Well,
So 7.
yeah, 7.
I thought you got naked.
That's why I said 7.
Yeah. All right.
17.
17 for. Did I hear 17? Sorry.
Yeah, 17 for Ruby.
Ruby, gotcha.
I got 28.
Yeah, nice Feng. Alright, as y'all are kind of sneaking over, so Feng, you're not invisible, right?
Nope, I'm just stealthy.
Ruby's invisible?
Yes.
Okay, that makes a big difference. Y'all are heading over, there's not that many people in this general area, and as far as you know, you've all made it into their section of wagons. So their section of wagons is set up in kind of a local, like large oval shape. Like I said, there's about 8 of them. Some of the entrances are on the inside of that circle, and some are on the outside of that circle. And there's a lot of stuff, lots of rope, lots of wood, lots of tools, lots of leather, lots of fabrics. This is just as much a group of storage wagons as it is their homes. What would you like to do?
Go
Like
into the
seeing-
trailer. It looks
Are there any of the windows open or anything in there?
Some of them have windows, some do not. If y'all go check the doors, some of them would be locked. There are keyholes. Most of them are not, though.
I go to one of the locked trailers and try to open it.
Okay. Thieves' tools. Thieves' tools check.
What happened?
Thieves' tools check. You sleight of hand.
So that's 23.
23. These locks are not very heavy duty. Click. Opens very easily.
Okay, I try to sneak in, look around, see what I can see.
We'll do a couple rolls, or I will, to see how long Zoomed Off is able to keep them. But Feng, go ahead and give me investigation. And then if Ruby and Saito also want to investigation as well.
Into his room, or are we all splitting up?
Up to y'all.
I assumed we were splitting up to go faster.
Yeah.
I'm
go
rolling. I'm gonna re-roll that 7.
Okay.
4.
Noted.
I'm gonna go to the one of the trailers that is open.
Absolutely.
My bird is as well. A separate one.
Yeah.
Investigation.
There's a door wide open. Ruby's able to
Perfect. Fly right in.
fly right in and then kind of hop around as crows do. Nice, Saito.
22.
Investigation is told. 13.
Very nice. Okay. I would say, Feng, you go through that trailer as you head inside. Like I said, it's mostly supplies, and you don't particularly see anything that you're directly looking for. So, I mean, what would you be looking for in particular?
I'm particularly looking for clothes and pages of paper
Sure.
that could have been ripped out of a book.
Sure. You find lots of paper, but it's just cords of paper that are nothing's written on them as near as you can tell. There are a couple of large trunks which are locked, which you expect have clothing. You do find that there are numerous articles of clothing that are hanging up in your trailer in particular. You go through them, but you don't see anything.
Of course I don't. I fucking rolled a fucking 4.
Meanwhile, Saito,
Yep.
you head into a trailer. Very similar. It's a lot of supplies. There are a couple of locked trunks, as well as a lot of costumes that are hung up. Would you be searching for talismans in the clothing as well, or is there anything else you're looking for?
Yeah, I'll look for any hints of the talismans that Art has mentioned before, and try and see if I can get into a trunk with my thieves' tools.
Go ahead and give me these tools checks, a sleight of hand check.
7.
Alright. No luck. The lock is a little sticky. As you look through the clothing, you find outfits for the dancers, the acrobats, the magicians. You find a specially sewn set of clothing for the conjoined twins. You find clothing that you'd expect is for your dragonborn friend Katima. Clothing for halflings, clothing for gnomes, male, female. Things that have accents that are specific to different cultures and races. But there's so much to look through, it would take a long time. Your first glance, you see nothing.
I'll move on to another trailer then.
Yeah, I head to another trailer.
Alright. 2 more stealth checks, or 2 more investigation checks, please. Ruby, you said, what was the number?
13, I think.
13, yeah. On a 13, Ruby. Yeah, so Ruby's able to sift through some things using her appendages, and the outcome is that there is also a series of trunks and as well as a lot of clothing. There's so much to look through, so initial glance you don't see anything though.
Next up.
Okay.
Rolled a 18.
18. 5?
I fucking suck at investigation.
Yeah, you don't see anything, Feng.
I don't perceive anything. Is it my perception better?
You're not looking. You were trying to look and discern. So that's good.
19.
Okay. Paul, as you're walking around trying to be a bit of a distraction, you notice a couple of the roadies, 2 humans, or a single human male and a bugbear gentleman, kind of storming their way back in that general direction. You hear them mumbling to themselves things like, freaking zoomed off thinks he owns us. Let me get back to my fucking trailer, I'm hungry.
Okay, as they're coming, I'll try to get their attention and try to distract them for a while, but I'll do it loudly in such a way.
Okay. Give me a performance check.
Do I hear him making a commotion?
Sure. Yeah. You would hear the beginning of this conversation.
I assume that Ruby is closer than a mile.
Yes.
I lied to you. 100 feet? Is she 100 feet from me?
Sure.
Then I would tell her that there are people heading that way.
Okay.
Paul. Okay. Well. Let's see. I rolled a 1, so you have a choice of either my shadow doing something or something else happening. The other one I have to roll on a chart, so it's a matter of which one you want to do.
Yeah, unless you're tied to one of the specific, I have something in mind.
No, it's whatever. It's just that I rolled a 1, so something happens.
Absolutely. Now, I'll let you use your re-roll if you want to modify the outcome of this, but the 1 still stands. So, in terms of the trying to distract.
Okay, what happens?
Yes, but if so, the 1 would be an automatic failure on attempting to distract them. If you would like to re-roll, you can attempt to still try to distract them, but the effect of the 1 from your build, we will play that out in a second. It doesn't happen quite so immediate. It'll take a few seconds here.
Okay, 13 on the re-roll.
Okay. So what are you saying to them as they walk by?
I'll say, so it's already over? You guys are, meeting's over? It's time to get back to, getting ready for sleep or what?
Bugbear kind of looks at you. We're going to get dinner. Leave us alone.
Hey, I'm just trying to do my job here too, trying to make sure everything's safe.
Agreed. Not doing a great job, are you?
Well, you're still okay.
I like you. Anyway, I'm leaving.
Okay.
Yeah, you delay him maybe a little bit longer than that conversation went.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be loud, so I'm making noise that, trying to draw their attention. So.
Cody, can Ruby telepathically speak to others, or yeah?
No. She can call real loud.
Yeah, so Ruby would fly into the trailer Feng is in. Little crow, red-eyed crow, and just begin to caw and kind of peck at you a little bit, and then kind of fly towards the entrance of the door, back and forth.
I try to get out.
And then she's going to start circling above, just calling, hoping that Invisible Boy will get the clue.
Okay. Yeah, Saito, you hear this cawing outside. You recognize Ruby's call.
I hear it, and then I get out of there.
Okay. Feng, Saito, another stealth check as y'all try to maneuver your way out of this ring.
Okay.
So there's Feng can just kind of fly kind of over the top. Saito, you're kind of left to a single path to exit. As you begin to kind of, I would say, lightly jog, but not too loud, making too much noise. You hit the kind of edge of that area, and right as you do, 2 people start to walk by. You kind of slap your body up against the wall, and as the human walks by, he kind of walks right by you. You almost sigh a bit of a relief. The bugbear takes these long, lumbering steps, and you see his nose kind of twitch. The human stops. What's the problem? I smell dragonborn.
feet 5 foot. So.
Feet 5 foot. He begins to kind of sniff, and he lunges out in a random direction, kind of swiping his large paw. It's a good distance from you, but he then turns a little closer to you and swipes that again. A little bit closer. Swipes that again. One more swipe. He's going to hit you. What do you do?
We know something's good. Do the rest of us know something's going on?
Yeah, can I see it?
You don't see Saito. Feng, sure Feng. I would say Feng and Ruby would see this, but it's a little bit too late to affect this immediate outcome. But what would y'all like to do in the interim before the result is determined?
I just throw a smoke bomb down right in the middle of it.
Okay. Alright.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Paul?
Well, for me, I'm going to, with the bugbears he's doing that right there, I'm going to send a message cantrip at him with, because it's my spirit, so they're going to be shrieking in his head.
Oh, lovely. Are you saying anything in particular, or just the ominous noise?
Ominous screeching noises.
Gotcha. Okay. Alright, so this bugbear, having relatively normal day, a little bit ticked off at the moment. He all of a sudden smells a scent that he's not expecting to smell and kind of begins to maneuver around. So Feng, if you drop a smoke bomb, you're going to be seen.
So I shouldn't do that.
So I'm just letting you know that you stand out probably more than anyone with your size. It's very obvious who you are. So.
Okay, how about I cast minor image and have some little creature run out from under the trailer right near him?
Okay, what kind of creature are we talking?
Let's say like a wolf.
You said a small creature, then you said a wolf.
Is it a wolf?
Wolves, I don't know if an adult wolf would fit inside the minor illusion box. Wolves are quite large.
A 5 foot box, it says.
Yeah, wolves are a little bit bigger than
Oh,
that.
okay. No, not a wolf. Let's do
Could be a coyote.
Okay, a coyote. Yeah.
Could be a possum. Could be anything.
Yeah. Let's do a raccoon.
Raccoon.
Little trash panda.
Little trash panda. Okay, Feng.
As the raccoon runs out, Ruby's gonna like caw and like swoop out at it.
Okay, I like it. We'll say Ruby, performance check. Fang, performance check. This is just kind of the icing on the cake.
16.
Okay.
I don't even want to roll it.
There you go.
14.
Nice.
Yeah.
Saito, right as the big paw comes up, all of a sudden you watch the bugbear just kind of like grab his head and kind of like something's going on in his head. Next thing you see is this, you said raccoon. A raccoon just runs out from under the trailer, like right in between your legs, and a bird, Ruby, sweeps down and just starts kind of like birds do. They're kind of like attacking this raccoon. Fang, you're kind of playing with it, like the raccoon's like trying to like use its tail to whip it out of the way. The human kind of dinner. He just like starts going after it. It's good luck getting it, but he kind of runs after it, and the bugbear, he's paused for the moment. What do you do, Saito?
I slowly, like, sidestep away.
And then you're trying to get out of the ring of trailers?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me another stealth check.
Oh,
I'm gonna use reroll.
Okay.
$11.
Yeah.
Well,
As he's holding his head, you see him kind of look up, and he looks kind of deranged and like rabid for a moment, and he just does a big old swipe. Let's see if he hits you.
with disadvantage?
This is correct. Should pop up. There we go. Try to get the stat sheet to come up here. So do their base attack, 12 to hit.
Since I don't have my armor, what is my...
It'd be 10 plus your dex score, if I'm not mistaken.
So 11. So yeah,
Okay.
hits.
A big bear kind of swings around and just hits you right in the shoulder, and then throws you right into the trailer to the side. You will take. Does it roll the damage? Oh, okay, guess it doesn't. You take 11 bludgeoning damage, and if you're concentrating on visibility, so you'll need to make a Constitution saving throw of 10 or greater. That was right. That is enough. You get slammed into the trailer. What do you do now? Do you run? You haven't dropped to visibility.
Yeah, I try to hightail it out of there.
Okay. What direction
When
are
he
you
swings
heading?
out,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna start running that direction. You know, yelling what's going on. You know, and stuff like that. Trying to draw his attention again, and then I'll use the message again to assault him. You know, well, to yell in his head again and stuff.
Love it.
Try to distract him some more.
Yeah, get another performance check here.
15.
Okay. Awesome. The bugbear, he kind of reaches around. He knows he hit something, and he starts kind of just running in a direction. So, Saito, you have options. You could kind of just head back to the rest of the carnival. You could head towards your trailer. You could head towards the woods. I mean, you could head anywhere you wanted. What is your heading?
Since I'm invisible, I'll head towards the carnival to try to... That way, if they do get a sense of my direction, they won't see me going right back to my trailer.
Okay, gotcha. As you run, it kind of instinctively follows in that general direction, assuming that it's someone in the carnival, and it's kind of looking around. It's sniffing the air. It's pretty fast, as its feet are very long. Bugbear, he continues to sniff the air to try to see if he can discern what exactly is out there. Eventually, there is the kind of the heart of the carnival. As you try to kind of dodge and weave in and out of people without kind of just knocking into them. Go ahead and give me an acrobatics or athletics check, your choice.
Okay, I'll do athletics.
Okay.
18. For athletics.
Very nice. Paul, as the bugbear continues, you hit him with this psychic kind of onslaught, and as you start to kind of talk to him, see what's going on, he just kind of ignores you and keeps running past. The human's like, "There was a raccoon! I almost caught it!" Sucks. And he just kind of heads back into the roadie bunch. I will give him a perception check to try to sniff you out. It's not going to do it. You watch Saito as you kind of make your way a little bit more east. He heads off to the south, kind of sniffing the air mindlessly. You're safe.
Yay.
Alright, so as he runs off, I will just talk to the human to try to get an idea of what was going on, look around, trying to investigate, to look as if I'm doing, like I said, supposed to be guarding and stuff like that, see what's going on.
Sure, no roll needed. You kind of chat with him. He seems rather uninterested. Rusk was interested in some smell in the air. Whatever.
So did we learn anything from that second set of trailers or no?
I just didn't have enough time. But what you have learned is that the roadies are essentially in charge of the storage. So these are not active sets of clothing that you found. There were a couple other locked trailers that probably housed the roadies themselves. Might need another opportunity.
Okay.
Alright, well, this expedition came off fruitless. Looks like we'll have to try again. And from what I heard, Feng, you really do need those instructions on how to investigate.
Yup.
What's Feng's
From what I heard,
investigation?
you were just spinning in circles, not doing a damn thing in that room.
I was doing my best, but I couldn't see nothing. I thought I was doing a good job.
What's your investigation roll?
I'm -1 on investigation.
Okay. You're better than me.
I seem to need it more often though.
Everything settles down. Y'all all meet back up. The roadies eventually, 2 by 2, one by one, all head back to their trailers. Some seem a little bit excited about their conversations, thinking of promotions and raises, and maybe even get to join the main crew. Others seem annoyed at the inconvenience and a wasted evening. Start now.
So my first look for using detect evil good, I was able to see most of the roadies, or did I miss most of the roadies?
Their little section was kind of blocked off, so you would have hit a few of them, but not
Well, as they're
all.
coming back, the larger group of them's coming back, I'm gonna cast it.
Absolutely. Yeah, go right ahead. Go right ahead. Okay. Does anybody have anything else the remainder of the evening?
Seeing as how this was kind of a shit show, let's come up with a plan on what we're actually doing in the morning when we look through people. So we have 2 cleric buddies who can look for the disease. Do we want to just have everybody come up negative? Do we want to make it look like somebody has something that we magically cure?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because if we, I mean, you and I both have the ability to make it look like something's there. So if we split off into 2 groups and to make things go faster, we make it look like a handful of people have something that the clerics can heal real quick, and we just make it go away. Or we can just make it look like nobody had anything and everyone was safe.
To add some DM insight, if you were checking the bodies of these individuals, seeing you are a group of males, some of the females might not appreciate the frisk.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
You might want to recruit a female, but you would have to let them in. Or maybe you could disguise yourselves, but it's risky.
There is an individual who was heartbroken more than anybody else here. I feel like she would probably be the most helpful.
Or you said they have some healers that are part of the group. Are they clerics? Or do they actually cast magic, or are they more?
This carnival is, you're going to have a lot of people that can cast cantrips, a few first level casters, possibly some higher level casters. There is a sort of a priest, Brother Justin. You're unsure his abilities, though he would probably have some healing. The general healers are more, let's call them Eastern medicine types.
Okay. Because I can do where I detect poisons and disease. So, I mean, I know we're not really looking for a disease, but we can use that as a pretense, I guess.
Right, as I'm saying, we could have you and Saito looking for the disease on the men, and we can inquire about getting the Furbolg animal handler, because she was the only one broken up about strongman getting murdered. Everybody else was just like, well, let's move on. Where she was actually crying over his body. I feel like she would be the most helpful on actually going along with this plan. So I can go try and talk to her to convince her. And then she looks after that group of people.
Okay.
All right, go for it.
Yeah, I think it's a plan.
Alright, I'll go find her.
Okay.
I'll be back in a moment. I gotta go put the pups to bed.
Okay. Art, you go talk to Sam. Head over towards the large steel kind of crates that these animals are kept in. The large teams of horses to pull them. You see Seun going through a process of divvying out portions of food and making sure they're all fed and watered. Oh, hey Art.
Hey, how's it going? Need a hand with anything? There's like a lot of animals for one person to handle.
I've become accustomed. Sometimes the roadies help, but tonight I'm okay.
You holding up well? No nightmares or nothing? I mean, seeing a friend like that in that state's probably not the easiest.
Sorry, Chris.
What happened?
Did you look in the general chat?
No.
Couldn't resist. Sorry, Cody, I got sidetracked. So you asked,
Just how she's holding up.
yeah. It's better when I have something to occupy my time. Long days on the road are not easy.
I'm gonna look around and see if there's anybody close that could be listening in or anything.
Yeah, y'all pack in like relatively tight for about the 70-80 carts. The animals, I would say, are kept kind of on the outskirts. as it is a little bit better for the noise. There's a few people around. I'll say you would see a couple of the acrobat kids kind of swinging along some trees. The Dragonborn encampment is not too far away. If you keep your voice down, you probably won't be heard.
I just thought I'd let you know we seem to have a lead on who might have killed him. But we might need your help with something, if you're willing.
I'm listening, yes.
I mean, as you're aware, he was a faux shape changer. We believe whoever did this to him copied his ways and is disguising themselves among us right now.
Oh, I see. Okay.
There are a few tells, but they're not easy to see. They have runic stitching on their skin to change their appearance. My group can handle the men but we probably wouldn't get appreciative looks from the other females.
I see.
So if you could help us out, maybe we could figure out who caused this a little quicker.
I understand. You'll have to go over the details, maybe a little bit more, but I'm definitely willing to help. Will we be checking all the females?
That's the plan.
I see. Okay. Some of them are slightly hostile towards others, but do you explain that Zundov is kind of assisting?
Yeah, he knows and he's trying to assist.
I'm sure with Zundov's blessing, though, we could convince them.
I will say, we will probably need to give you a quick once over just to make sure you're not the culprit.
I understand. We can do it now if we head around back.
Whatever's easiest for you.
Don't get frisky.
Yeah, there's like two trailers kind of backed up, and they make this sort of small V, and you can kind of just slip through that V. There's like a tiger and like an elephant that are just like both kind of following as y'all walk around the back. Around that side, there's another trailer that kind of jets out, and it's sort of this other V that is just completely shielded. Okay. She kind of pulls her shirt over, facing away from you, pulls it over her neck, and just kind of stands like this, allowing you to inspect her back.
I'll check the side of her rib, the back of her neck.
Yeah.
Same general places I saw on
Yeah.
the other guy.
You have dark vision, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think you have superior dark vision. So there would be no problem with you seeing in this lighting. They're small, but they're not that small. They're very noticeable. Yeah, there's nothing.
Oh, you're talking about the runes. I was like, what are you talking about?
Don't worry about it. Good. Yeah, no. The sewn on runes are like I said, they're like pinky nail size, but that's relatively large when you're that close. So seems clear.
Did anybody check to see if those sewn on runes radiated magic?
Nobody could check that. I was here.
You're
So they
almost
didn't
certain they would, though. Visible runes rarely do not. If you did some type of concealment magic on them, they would, the runes would disappear visibly. However, just as a note, the clothing could possibly obscure them. You're unsure. Am I clean?
All clear.
She kind of pulls it back over. So is that all I have to do? Just check their back?
I told her the neck, the ribs, and I don't remember where else. There's a couple.
All right. We should head back, and she kind of awkwardly kind of starts walking around that trailer and back into the main area. She'll kind of walk back in. The Dragonborns kind of just peek over, and the acrobat kids kind of peek over as well. But they don't pay much mind after that. And we're doing this tomorrow morning?
Fairly certain that's the plan.
Okay.
But it'll be pretty obvious when it's time to go.
All right. Are you working with the young group of security as well? The 4 kids?
We'll have them checked
Oh,
first,
okay.
and then maybe they'll help us out as well.
Should I check the girls?
Probably a good idea for you to start there.
Okay. I want to help. This is a terrible thing that has happened, and I just hope that we can fix it.
Just for story's sake, we're saying that those frogs that attacked us spread a disease to a few individuals of our party that we have since cured, but we're just making sure that we haven't spread it to anybody else. So that's what we're saying we're looking for.
Oh, that's very clever. I'm sure with the death associated with the frogs, that will be enough justification.
Once you check the young kids out, let us know, would you?
Yes, I can head over to their area. Thanks, Art.
No problem.
She kind of starts walking and says, "Oh, could you feed the tigers? The meat's over there."
I look at it. Sure. I cast Mage Hand and I'll drag a piece of meat into the cage.
I was hoping you'd forget you had Mage. Yeah, you slowly just kind of toss them in. They're a little bit like concerned about you, but the second you start giving them food, their opinion of you changes. So maybe you're not so bad after all. All right, it's getting late. Most people are slowly heading off to their places of rest, closing up their caravans. It's early fall, so it's like perfect weather to sleep outside. So some of the youngsters are on the back ends of the covered wagons, the non-covered portions, kind of just laying out some blankets and having a sleep for the night. Anything else?
I will say with the incompetence of the kids, I say we split our party with theirs and we're both looking with them instead of having them cover half the field by themselves.
Agreed.
As y'all are discussing some things, Sayun eventually comes over. Hey Art, I checked Sarah and Fedora. Not a single scar or scratch on their body. Appears they haven't done much adventuring.
Definitely feels that way as well. Thank you.
Okay, you fed the tigers.
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Wonderful. Thank you. Good night.
Night.
Oh, I will assist the kid, or I'll go.
Well, there's
Yeah.
9 of us now. So if we just do 3 people per shift, and the 3 people just wander around the whole park. I feel like that's probably the easiest thing to do.
Yeah.
paying any attention to management?
Yeah, I still want to see where this trailer's going.
Okay. I'll say, you're at this point, you're intentionally making sure you know where it goes. In this instance, it's since the grove of trees you're in is so large, it just kind of goes deeper into that grove and positions itself facing the opposite direction behind a thick wall of trees. So you know its location, but it's a good half-mile away, pretty far.
I'd actually like to stay there and see it change.
Staying the whole night?
Up in the tree as sneaky as possible, yes.
Okay. All by yourself, half-mile away.
Unfortunately, yes, because I want to see what's going on with this trailer.
Perfect. Do you inform your...
Yeah, I tell Art what I'm going to do.
Are you fixated on this trailer because you think there's something to do with our investigation, or are you fixated on it for other reasons?
Might have something to do with our investigation, but these are
Our investigation or your investigation?
hours.
That wasn't a very convincing hours.
Hours, because we're not going to be able to search them, so maybe I can see something if they get out or something.
I mean, I suppose. I don't think anybody has ever seen those doors open, though, so I'm not quite sure what you're expecting to catch.
I don't know, but we'll see what comes out. I will be very, very well hidden.
Only thing I say is if you hear screaming, you better get your ass over.
Alrighty.
Little too far. It's upwind.
You sure you need to do this?
Do I need to do it, or do I?
I don't know. You tell me. I'm not going to tell you no, but I mean, you know what's out there right now.
You think you can handle night shift without me?
I mean, there'll be 8 people then, and I guess we could do it still technically.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna watch that trailer just one night. I just have to know.
If you must.
All right, you make it out to that area without much effort. Do you have dark vision, Feng?
Yep, still have the goggles on.
Yeah. What distance are you keeping, and are you going to have a visual on the front of the trailer?
I'm trying to have a visual on the front of the trailer and trying to be kind of up in the tree line, in the trees.
Okay. Give me a stealth check. As Fang keeps that roll to himself, what is the watch structure? So there are 4 kids, 2 guys, 2 girls, Billy, Cumby, Nymphadora, and Sarah. If y'all, however you would like to structure the watches.
I don't know. Someone's going to get stuck with a 2-man watch.
I'll do it with the 2 guys, or 1 girl, 1 guy, or 2 girls, or whatever it has to be.
No, I literally meant just 2 people. Right? There's 8 people divided by 3. You have 3, and a 2.
Well,
I assume one of them is going to be Vic because he's always awake anyway.
right.
So we got to
I'll
figure out
always
who the
be
last
awake.
one's going to be.
So Vic, you cannot patrol the whole night because you would get tired, right? You still have to take a long rest. It's just you don't have to sleep.
So who's the most perceptive of the 4 of us? Definitely not me.
I have a +2 perception.
+5.
6.
Looks like you two are the ones on your own then.
Wonderful.
And then I'll take a group of 2 at the front, and like I said, let you take the other group of 2 in the middle.
That was good.
All right. Art, your first watch. Who will you be taking it with?
I don't know, Gumby, and I don't remember who the other girl you said was.
Whoa. Cumby, and there's Nymphadora and Seraphina.
I'll take
Or
Sarah.
excuse me. Seraphina was the thing. Okay, so we have Art, Cumby, Sarah. Perception check for you, sir, and I will go ahead and just roll some big number perception checks from them.
I mean, I'll be on top of our wagon on the times when I'm not out patrolling.
Mm-hmm. So essentially, Paul, just let me know what watch you would like to patrol, and then the others 2, you can be vigilant, just stationary.
Well, are the patrols 2 hours each? 4 watches or 3 watches?
They're 3 watches. That is how we're doing it currently, unless you would like to modify that. What'd you get, Art?
I had a 14.
Okay. What is your patrolling structure? Are you walking all 3 together, or splitting up the 3?
Splitting up, but like bouncing back in between each other, so like.
Okay. Yeah, you're spending a lot of time kind of teaching them, like, hey, stick to the schedule. Don't have that much of a regular pattern. Occasionally just kind of peek over your shoulder. Make sure everything's okay. You're teaching them some of these tips, and Kambi seems a little tired. Sarah seems very interested in learning these specifics. She kind of wants to know, all about all of these different things. She asked you about your party, some of the adventures you've been on, and I'm sure you would inform her that, talking and not watching is maybe not the most productive way. But the watch goes by without any issue. Vic, were you just sitting on top of the wagon this watch?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, you can go ahead and give me a perception.
I'll walk at the 3rd watch.
Okay, gotcha. Go ahead and give me a perception as well for this one.
19?
19. Yeah. Every once in a while you see them walk by. You keep a close eye out. There's a number of animals that you experience during the first part of the night. But other than that, nothing else to note. Do y'all switch now?
Mm-hmm.
So
You all want to do second watch or last watch?
I thought we were doing last one.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'll roll my perception.
Well, if they're doing the last watch, and I'll walk the 2nd watch.
No, that's what I was saying. I thought you and I were doing the last watch.
Okay.
So we have Saito and Olgram and Vic for second or third watch. Which one?
No, it's just Olgram and Vic by themselves on 3rd watch, and it's Saito and the other 2 kids.
Understood. Okay. Make
11.
sure. Okay. Saito, 2 kids. So you have. See if I can get my numbers here. Oh, wow. I'm good at this game. Saito, as you walk around, you yet again, just as Art has, you begin to kind of explain to Billy and Nymphadora the specifics of how patrolling works and atypical patterns, and maybe you give your slight different philosophy than Art's, whatever it may be. They seem very interested in learning. They ask a lot of questions, and as the night goes on, not too much is happening until Billy says, "Hey, Saito."
Yeah.
Who's that over there? And he kind of points over to the side, and you see Zundov, the halfling leader of the carnival, kind of peek out into the walkway and kind of dart behind one of the other trailers, making his way kind of towards the edge of the carnival. Kumdorf? What was it again?
Zoomed off.
Oh, right, that's right. What do we do? Do we follow him? Do we arrest him? I'm not sure.
Let's go investigate.
Oh, okay.
Who did look a little shifty?
All right. So you have two options here. You can just stealth check and attempt to follow him, or you can attempt to maybe get ahead of him or something. Whatever you would like to do. What's your plan here?
Why is it gotta be stealth check?
Well, if you're trying to not be seen by him, that's your option. You could clock him and do your patrol and pretend to not see him. You know, because you're supposed to be patrolling.
Let's continue to do our patrol, but walk with him, but keep an eye on him where it doesn't look suspicious that we're watching him.
Good. Absolutely. You clock him, heading in and out of some trailers. You're careful to not make too much eye contact. Billy's acting a little robotic. I'm scared. So do I look at him? Do I not? What do I do?
Stay calm.
Calm.
Keep doing your patrol.
Patrols.
I'll try and keep them in sight. You guys stay vigilant on anything else that might pop up.
Okay, alright. He kind of veers off a little to the side. I'm patrolling. Looking around, checking everything out. Saito, you're kind of towards the last section of the caravan, and you see Zoomed Off kind of take one last glance and darts off into the woods. Doesn't seem to notice you paying attention at the moment.
If we follow him, then we leave the camp unguarded.
Currently, it's just you. The other two are on their own patrols. You could go grab them. Paul's awake, Vic's awake. But,
How much longer in our patrol?
do you have a timepiece clock?
No.
Yeah, based upon the moon's positions, stars' positions, you would 30 minutes, an hour, something like that.
I'll make a note of it and then I'll pass it on to the next patrol. Let them know what happened. That he darted off and I didn't want to leave the camp unguarded with the two newbies.
Okay.
This may be a bad idea, but I also don't want anyone else to die again.
Love it. Alright. Eventually you go and wake up Olgrim and then Vic. You stretch your legs and get up. This information is passed on to you from Saito. You'll start your watch.
Great.
Alright. Perception checks.
Cool. Natural 20, 25.
Wonderful.
25.
Wow. Okay. Alright, you'll see stuff. We'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Feng. What was that stealth check?
30.
Okay. Are you attempting to stay up all night? Because you will be exhausted the entire rest of the day.
What does exhausted do to me again?
First level exhaustion would mean that you have disadvantage on ability checks.
You have disabilities.
Disabilities, yeah. If you even take a watch the next night, If you don't go immediately to sleep, then you will get 2 levels of exhaustion. If you do go immediately to sleep, then it will go away in the morning, the next morning.
So, yeah, I'm attempting to. Yeah, because otherwise I might miss what's happening. Can I
Okay.
kind of half-ass sleep and?
Well, you're going to have to roll a perception check, so you can roll a disadvantage if you like.
No, this sucks. Um. Yeah, I'm just going to try to stay up and watch because I'm going to try to go to sleep when the caravan's moving. And I'm small. I'm just going to sleep in the caravan.
Love it. About halfway through the night, you feel a tree branch kind of shake. You're quite small, and you peek over a branch about 15 feet away from you, partly obscured by some foliage of leaves. There's a 6.5-foot long black panther that hops up onto the tree. You can see it kind of scanning. You can see its eyes as it blinks. As it hops to another tree, you would almost swear that it weighs as much as you. Very light, very delicate, very dainty. It doesn't seem to be bothered too much. Doesn't seem to notice your presence. But then you kind of hear a rustle in the ground below. The creature then kind of arches its back, and you can see its nose sniffing as it starts to look around. Then it hops to another tree and another tree and another tree, and eventually disappears out of sight. As you were almost solely focused on it, you forgot about that noise below, and you kind of briefly look down, and you see zoomed off, kind of scurrying up. He's kind of brushes himself off. You can tell he's slightly winded. He pulls out a timepiece from within his cloak and checks it. Close, cutting it close. And he starts to walk over towards the management trailer. Do you do anything?
I'm watching still.
Oh, you're watching still. Good. It's slightly obscured by some foliage, but you still have a pretty good view of the trailer. He walks up to the door, and he reaches up and just touches the wall. He's completely stationary. 15 seconds goes by, 20 seconds, 25, 30 seconds. Hasn't moved a muscle.
I'm waiting.
45 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Unnaturally still as he stands there with his hand against the trailer.
Would I recognize this as anything I've ever seen before?
No.
And he's touching the door or just the side of the trailer?
Yeah. Side of the trailer.
I keep watching. Waiting for him to move.
4 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 8 minutes.
Holy shit. I sneak up to him from behind.
Okay. Stealth check.
17.
Okay. Sure. You're behind him. What do you do?
Damn it. What do I do now? I try while...
Says.
No, I don't whip his ass.
1,000 years of death.
I use minor image to call his name from the front corner of the trailer,
Oh, I love it. Finally
very
using it.
very lightly.
Yeah. Yeah, you position yourself like a little bit to like one side of his shoulder, just out of his periphery, and then you call from the opposite side, so that if he turns, you would be, not seen. You hear it very well. Whose voice are you emanating?
Just any one of the carnies that I've heard.
Sure. Okay, so you just pick somebody. No reaction.
I look at his clothing to see if I could see any of those markings.
That involves touching him, touching the clothing.
Okay, wait, how do I want to do this? How about I back up far enough where he can't see me, and I chuck a pebble and hit him in the back first and see if he reacts.
Okay, you're just trying to get his attention, not hurt him, correct?
Yeah, not hurt him at all. I just want to see if he reacts to physical touch.
Okay, about 9 minutes have gone by now. You go to the edge of the tree line, head up, right in the side of the head. Lightly, of course. Some very small rock. Very noticeable, but he doesn't react.
Okay, I kind of rush up there and I try to search his clothes and the
Okay.
back of his neck.
Okay, so you're reefing on his head? I mean,
As silently as I'm trying not to let him know in case he comes back to whatever.
okay. Slide a hand check.
Uh, 25.
He has very kind of curly hair, but it curls up long enough or short enough that you can kind of see his neck very well. He's got a bow tie on a light collared shirt that goes a little higher than seems comfortable. You're able to take a quick peek as you pull it back, and there's nothing on the back of his neck. There's nothing on his collar.
I go back into my original position in the tree and wait for him to. No, I just, I sneak back and go back to the carnival. No, I want to see what the hell he does. I go back to the trees and watch to see how long this lasts until it ends.
Okay. As you get back into the trees, you are able to clock that panther 25 yards away or so. You see its yellow eyes as it peeks in your general direction. And you see another set of eyes and another. And they just slowly disappear as they head off in the opposite direction as you hop up in your tree and you see 12 minutes, 13 minutes, about 15 minutes or so. Sand comes back. You can see him kind of do a little, kind of like a shiver thing, and he kind of reaches up. Ow, my head. Anyway, puts his hat on, turns around, pulls out his timepiece. Longer than I expected. And begins to head back to the carnival. The only thing you can really hear him say other than that is, I hate management.
Oh, so he's talking to dead people. He was in a trance of some sort. Okay.
He disappears out of sight.
And I head back to my trailer.
Okay. Are you attempting to beat Zoomed off there, or are you staying a considerable distance behind him, or what?
I'm staying behind him so I can kind of see him, but not anywhere he would be looking. I'm being stealthy in the woods.
Alright, stealthy in the woods. Stealth check, please.
.30 again.
Noted. of Olbram and Vic. Pretty early into your watch, from the direction that Saito had told you, you both clock zoomed off, heading back into camp. He doesn't seem to notice y'all, and kind of darts in and out of trailers back to his, and eventually disappears inside of it. A good 2 or 3 minutes later, Feng zips out of the woods and begins to head back in the direction of y'all's wagon. Other than that, you don't notice anything else the rest of the night, and eventually in the morning, as the eastern horizon begins to light up, as the animals arise, everyone else in the carnival begins to slowly get up, pack up the wagons, do a last minute check on the wheels, and get ready for the long day of travel. You got a few minutes in the morning if y'all want to do something in particular, have discussion, whatever it may be, and then Zoomed Off can do the calling of the group together.
I tell the guys what I saw out at the trailer, especially Vic, because it seemed really weird to me, and Vic is really weird to me. So I tell him, I was out at this trailer, and he was just standing there for about 15 minutes in a trance. And while he was doing that, I actually searched the back of his neck, and he didn't have any of the talismans. But as he was walking away after 15 minutes, he's like, I hate management. So I'm thinking he was talking to ghosts in the trailer. Management isn't alive, or I don't know what it meant.
Well, I can relate.
And one
You
of
can
the other
relate to
times
talking to
when
ghosts.
Hating management.
and one of the other times when I searched that trailer, the guy that was riding with the horses, they just vanished in the midair.
The horses vanished?
The horses and the guy that rode the trailer, he stepped off, floated like across the ground, and then him and the horses disappeared.
Did you see
That
them
was a
come back
few.
this morning?
That was a few nights back.
Did you wait and see if they came back this morning?
I followed Zoomed Off back. There was a panther and some other things going on out there, and I didn't want to stay.
A
And
panther?
yeah, there's a black panther with yellow eyes, and it was staying around the area, jumping from tree to tree. It didn't see me, but it was getting a little hairy out there, hairier than I wanted to be actually at that moment. So
And it didn't attack when it saw him standing there for 15 minutes not moving?
not at all.
That didn't seem weird to you?
Everything seemed weird to me. I threw a rock at him and he didn't move. That was weird.
I investigation.
Called his name from the other side of the trailer. He didn't react. It was like he wasn't even here. It was like it was
Right, but if
just his body.
that was just some wild animal, why wouldn't it attack something that didn't move for 15 minutes?
Well, that's also kind of what I was thinking. Why I wanted to get out of there before it saw me. I think it was protecting them, whatever it was.
Based on his description of what he saw, is there, trying to think of, is there anything that would spark a memory, something like this from studies, learning?
Yeah. So, go ahead and give me a history check at advantage, Paul.
12.
As you're walking around the carnival in the morning, as the sun was coming up, you got a really good view of most of the trailers. And as you were going about your watches, you kept looking at this one particular trailer, and it just kept kind of something in the back of your mind, like, that seems familiar. It was adjacent to where the roadies were. You're not sure if it's one of their trailers or not. And as everyone's having this discussion this morning, you just feel a draw towards it. Your mind's a little fuzzy. You can't really think straight about these specifics and management and murders. It's just kind of occupying your thoughts.
Okay, so while people are, I guess, having their meals and stuff, since I don't eat, I'm gonna walk in the direction of that trailer.
Alright.
Again, talking to the spirits around me. As I come to the trailer, I'm just gonna lightly let my hand, almost, like nonchalant or nonchalantly, as I'm walking
Getting
past,
corrected
just
by
like
Chris.
let my
Good look.
let my hand brush across the trailer as I'm walking.
As soon as your hand hits the trailer, you can feel a shiver send up your spine. It's as much a feeling of nostalgia and euphoria as it is of fear and dread. These sort of polar emotions slowly building to a point of, let's just say, as the spirits, as you touch it, the spirits' kind of voices get louder and louder, and you hear these jovial voices as well as these damned and despaired ones. You instinctively kind of pull your hand off as if you had touched a hot stove, but your mind slowly reaches up, and before you even know it, your hand's on the doorknob. Door handle, rather. Do you open it?
This isn't the management trailer, correct?
No.
Okay.
And it just feels comfortable or something familiar about the trailer.
There's these polar emotions. There's something of nostalgia, comfort, euphoria. But there's also something, let's just say, evil.
Well, I'm opening it.
There's a lot of people around. I mean, no one's directly paying attention to you per se. So if something does happen, hopefully someone would notice. The second you open it, the feeling, I wouldn't say subsides, it just lessens to a point where you can kind of focus on your feet. Your feet are on the ground. You're touching this door. Maybe your side or your hip or whatever it is that may be hurting from your days of travel and adventuring. You can kind of focus on something more physical, and you kind of shake it off. And as you look inside, you see a pair of omnicolored eyes against the wall as the shadow of the sun, or the sun's light casts a shadow against the back side of the interior of the room. And this small, childlike figure of a shadow blinks, and then you just see it dart to the right in the trailer. Before you even know it, you're pulling up in the trailer. You're looking. You're trying to find it. The dread kind of subsides, and the euphoria and happiness and these more positive feelings kind of well up. And as you just kind of begin to look at the trailer, it's a little bit dark inside, so you're kind of placing your hands on the wall, just make sure you don't knock anything over. There's really not much in here. There's a small bed, a small dresser, and some very old, kind of ratty pieces of wood that put it together. And what would you do? Would you search? Would you...
No, I'm not going to search through the stuff on the trailer.
Okay.
But I'm going to look around, try to see if I can see the figure that darted to the side, talk softly. and not rush forward or anything like that.
Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
3.
Reroll.
I use my reroll.
Oh shit.
The nat 20s, so.
Well, except for he had a nat 20.
I'm gonna say someone had it when they did a watch.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, if somebody needs it, go for it.
Take it, Paul.
Okay. Ah! Exact same roll.
Was meant to be.
Yep.
Yeah, meant to be.
Decisive.
There are a handful of books. They don't really seem that interesting to you at the moment, but as your hand touches them, you see these kind of vague symbols passing through your mind. As you walk around, you can see areas in the wood where there have been carvings. Someone took a small knife or a small blade and wrote a few letters. And as you look closely in the common tongue, you see the script. You see the name Victor. A little off to the side, you see the name Yvonne. And in a very poor, kind of almost jagged handwriting, you see Victoria and Vicky written multiple times throughout the trailer, in varying degrees of penmanship. Some of the fonts almost remind you of horror, others seem angelic. As you kind of focus on these things, you look over to the side and there are those eyes again. And as you immediately dart over to try to get a better vantage point and understand what you're seeing, it's gone.
Well, as I see the words, he's going to fall to his knees, visibly shaken, and based on the roll, he is definitely memories are flooding back. Some memories are coming back into his mind. He doesn't know what the memories mean, but it just feels there's something about it. And it's you said I saw the eyes.
You see the eyes, but it's like every time that you're not focusing on investigating, they sort of pop up. But the second you try to focus on them and kind of move towards, they disappear.
Okay. Well, one is his skull. The skull. Wow. I'm gonna take out the funeral shroud that he has, and he is going to bring. I mean, he's going to be lost in thought. Down. He'll be that funeral shroud. He'll have up to his face, listening to it. I mean, he's going to be in that condition for minutes.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, everyone else, what's the plan?
I mean, I had Sayun check the females from the other adventuring group. Do we want to have them look too, under false pretenses also? Or do we want to just have her be the only one searching? Like, just make things go faster.
Yeah, I guess have the girl with her, but not the. Yeah.
Well, clearly there's 2 females over there.
I would say we tell them what happened, and what we're looking for, but tell them to be discreet. I'm just worried that they're gonna mess it up.
Exactly why I didn't want to tell them the full story right now.
Yeah,
Just stick with the disease part.
yeah.
When they do the investigation, I mean, should have time to be able to get back to them to help with that. I would, yeah. Or is that happening at the same time I'm in here looking around?
They're getting ready, but depending on, I'll kind of leave it up to you, Paul. I mean, how much time you would be spending here if you're a few minutes late or on time.
Probably be joining them, after a little bit after they start.
All right, so zoomed off, kind of walks by y'all's trailer as he's kind of talking to some people, looks at you, Art. Is it time?
Yeah, I think we have everything in place. We got to talk to the other group real quick, and then we'll be ready.
All right, everyone, listen up. Group meeting. Meet on the north side of the caravan. Stat. Begins to walk around, kind of echoing this. A few others kind of echo his commands. And in about 5, 6, 7 minutes, the majority of the carnival, as near as you can tell, has walked over to that portion. Y'all checking for stragglers? What do y'all do?
Yeah, I'll just look around for stragglers.
I'm assuming I'm the one talking to everybody, so I guess the rest get to look around.
Yeah. Look for stragglers.
Okay, you want to look for stragglers, you can just give me a perception check. Or investigation in this case, if that's what you would prefer.
No.
I'll use investigation.
Go
Perception.
ahead and investigate, Feng.
11.
Nice, I turn.
26, a natural 20. I'll get my reroll back.
Got 13.
50.
As you all look, about 2/3 of the roadies don't bother. They're in their little encampments. Vic, you would have seen them right as you eventually headed out of the trailer. Do you close the door as you leave?
Yes.
Okay. Saito is... You're looking around. You see Brother Justin, the clerical individual in the group. You see Chet, the turtle chef. You see Clario, the elven acrobat. All very, very obviously notice this call and immediately dart back into their individual caravans.
Mhm. Guess I'll let everyone know what I saw. And do we want to go get them? Or if we go get them, we might make enemies of them.
Well, if we tell them that they could be in danger from a disease, they might appreciate it, especially if one's the chef and he's feeding everybody.
True. What is
At the very
my
least, block which trailer it was and which individuals did not go so we know somewhere else we need to look if something goes on.
I'm very, very good at persuading.
Well, I'm -1.
Go for it. You found him.
Alright, I'll go to the chef first.
Did they all go into the same trailer?
We got them lined up. I'm gonna cast Detect Magic as we're going through the people. To see if
As everyone is walking as a group.
Well, when we're doing the checks to see if anybody has a disease and stuff like that, I'll do a Detect Magic to see if I can see any of those runes or anything show up as we're looking through.
Okay. So as y'all are beginning the checks, are y'all doing anything about the individuals that did not comply with the summons?
I will go to
Note
the
them down.
turtle chef first.
Okay. All right, we'll get that out of the way first. So Saito, you head over to the chef's trailer. You can see plumes of smoke, and you can smell fresh food as it's all being prepared. The door is ajar. You can hear bits of movement inside.
I'll knock on the door and let myself in, and I'll be like, "Hey, buddy,
Yes.
did you not hear the call for everyone to be checked for this disease, just in case that was caused by the frog people?"
Disease? What are you talking about?
Yeah, the little fairy, he contracted a disease from the frog people.
Oh, we should kill him then.
We cured the disease, but
Oh, that's great.
we want to make sure it wasn't contagious, so we're just checking everyone out, and if they have it, then we can cure it.
Whole time he's grabbing spices, taste testing, mixing this, mixing that. I'll pass. I think I'm alright. Turtles, we live a long time. No problems here.
What race was he?
He is a turtle on the screen, so he's like a humanoid turtle. You can see him on the screen here.
Yes.
No.
I'll be like, well, I insist, just to be safe, since you're handling food, we don't want to potentially pass that on as a foodborne illness.
Give me a persuasion check, Saito.
I'll use my reroll.
Okay, yeah, got it back, so. Went wrong. Oh.
Negative.
It's like my 2 rolls.
A 1.
Alright, look here, buddy. I have nothing against you, but I got a job to do. Got a lot of people to feed. Got a lot of meals to cook. So, Kadoosh, go away. Skedaddle.
Is he the only one in that trailer, or is there other people cooking too?
He's very large, so if someone else is in there, they're very small.
What should I do?
Ain't nothing else you can do. I would just go on to the next one and just see if you can get any of the stragglers over there. Otherwise, we'll clock who they are and have to do this sneakily in the next day or so.
Yeah,
On those.
I'll head to the next person. Was it the elf?
Yeah, there's Clario. And Brother Justin.
So Carlo didn't stay there to get checked out too?
The 3 that I think I mentioned would have been Brother Justin, the cleric, Clario, the female elven acrobat, and then Chet, the turtle chef.
Okay.
So you head over to Clario, to the acrobat section. Kind of look around briefly. You don't quite see her, but there's an ajar door on one of the trailers, and you hear a little noise inside.
I'll do the same. I'll knock and then walk in and explain the whole situation again, and then go from there.
Do you regularly let yourself in females' trailers?
Not necessarily, but there is a potential outbreak, so we would like for you to go get checked by what's the Behun, the other female, to make sure you don't have this disease.
Not to get into the details, but I don't catch the same afflictions as most of you.
That to be said, just to be safe, I would suggest you go get checked out.
Persuasion check.
She was jumping in that painted water.
God damn!
Roll again, Saito. Let's just make sure you're not stuck on. Sometimes roll 20, it's a little streaky.
So,
Holy.
and elven females get them rattled.
Yeah. Now we know.
I think it's just
I'll head on to the next trailer. To the cleric.
Love it. You head over to the, call it maybe the revival tent. It's set up pretty much irregardless of how long of a night y'all are staying. A small tent with an altar. You see Brother Justin as he is. The tent is about halfway put up in the morning, and he's himself going through it. You can kind of hear him mumbling. No help, no help. Do it myself. Of course, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Starts taking everything down, untying the knots.
Walk in, see that he needs some help, and I'll offer him to help if he allows me to give him a check for this disease. Just make sure everyone's safe.
Look, with all due respect, I appreciate the help and I will accept it, but I am a man of the cloth and my clothes are kept on.
They all have to be difficult.
well, they did not come for a reason.
I'm like, if you're a man of the cloth and these people are your flock, would you not want to be inspected just so you're not sickening your flock?
Very good argument. Persuasion check and advantage since you offered to help and you provided a character-specific argument. I like it.
There's one roll. Second roll. 12.
Right. What did you?
Sorry, not interested. Continues to take the tent down.
I walk off. I don't help him.
Love it. Okay.
We go back to the group, let them know how I failed and what everyone said, and continue on helping everyone else there.
Zoomed off begins to, alright, quiet down, quiet down. So, here's the deal. We have, on good information, that there is a possibility of a disease that could have broken out in the carnival. Hear the voices begin to rise, murmurs begin. Quiet down, quiet down, quiet down. At the moment, there is no need for alarm. However, as a precautionary measure, and to ensure that we do not possibly infect an entire city on our next stop, we have a bit of a check that needs to be performed Art, would you care to fill everyone in?
Yes, it's recently been brought to our attention that the frogs that we encountered prior to leaving Optefaloff may have, well, did infect one of my crew. We have since healed them, so it is curable. But we need to make sure that we didn't spread it to anybody else. We have our own healers on hand, so in case we do find it, we can get you fixed up right away. So we'll have to look at your backs and your bare body to make sure you don't have any outbreaks on you.
Couple of the girls. I'm not very comfortable with any of you checking me out.
Yes, I understand that. We've already checked out Sayun since she was on the field with us. She's been cleared, so she'll help us out. Check some of the females, as well as the other group of guards has a few women that are going to help out as well.
Nymphadora, Sarah, Sayun, they all kind of hop up to the front. Sayun says, rest assured, it's confidential, of course. We will make sure everyone is treated fairly. Most of the women out in the crowd. All right, that's fine. One of the roadies says, well, who's going to check the bearded lady? His buddy next to him. A good one. Lily
It has to be
just,
somebody with a beard.
yeah, Lily just kind of rolls her eyes. All right, so
y'all wouldn't mind splitting off, men and women.
All right,
Y'all
so
check
before
out
they
as quickly as
split
possible.
up, I'm gonna cast Detect Magic, and then look over everybody so I can know anybody that has any signs of magic, if anything's picked up, and just note it.
as you are kind of moving around, you would on occasion see a handful of magical items that people have. You get a glance at the items, and most of them are pretty much lower level things. You can catch a couple items you would recognize as the Wand of Smiles. A few other things of that nature, more gimmicky, funny carnival things. As everyone kind of splits off, you're making sure to just kind of walk around being as inconspicuous as possible. You see, let's see. Do I have his picture up? I do not. I'll have to throw it up here. You see this gentleman, the sword swallower slash fire guy, Swayze. He has a number of swords at his hip, and these are all, or a handful of them are glowing with, let's say, abjuration, evocation. That'd be it. Zoomed off would have a couple magical rings on him. That's all you would see.
Okay, but nothing struck me as like a rune or.
Nothing on somebody's body. You were able to have a visual on all of the objects emanating the glow.
Okay. So I guess we'll begin our checking. Going through.
All right, as you take to different areas in the carnival that have a bit of privacy, you're able to one by one begin to check. So, who will be performing the checks? What's y'all's plan?
I can help check one group.
Okay.
I don't know who else wants to check or not. Doesn't
I
matter.
mean,
Yes.
I have medicine, so I mean, I will work, do checking too.
Yeah, I'll do the same. I'm proficient in medicine.
Um,
If any of them has any like small wounds or anything that needs to be repaired, like where a medicine can help them, I'll do that too at the same time. If they need a band-aid or
absolutely. Here's what we'll do.
bruising.
We'll say if you're proficient in medicine,
Yes.
give me, I would say, a single medicine check if you would be assisting in this. If you're not proficient in medicine, you can give me an arcana, you can give me a perception, you can give me an investigation. Medicine will have a much lower DC.
Eight.
Got 24.
24 Arcana.
15 medicine.
And mine was a medicine check.
20 medicine.
20 medicine. Okay. As y'all begin to look through everyone, you would notice that some of the people would look as if they've never really worked out a day in their lives, while others have numerous wounds and scars of a very long, hard-fought life in whatever situations they would be involved in. Swayze is absolutely just loaded up with scars. He walks around shirtless most of the time. Do you ask him to remove any of his clothing?
Remove his what?
So he walks around shirtless, so you can see his back at all times. So are you asking him to remove the rest of his clothing, or are you just going to let him go?
Well, I mean, if we're trying to tell everybody else that this is where we can see it, then I don't know if I would do anything different to him.
Yep.
Might raise suspicions.
Just mark them and check them separately by it later.
As we check, I mean, like I say, if any of them people have like a, say, as I say to the grandkid, an owie or anything that needs to be treated, we'll treat that as we're going through and stuff.
Yeah, a lot of people have minor cuts and small infections. The healers in this caravan are, like I said, it's mostly balms and salves and things. Pretty effective if caught early, but some things that go a little too long or a little bit out of the helping time for that. You get through the entire group of males, and there's nothing that remotely resembles runes sewn in to either the backs of their clothing as you take a peek at them, or their backs themselves. Clowns.
Okay.
Not even the clowns, guys. So calm down.
Not even the creepy ones?
Not even the creepy Kinku clowns.
That would be all of them still, so.
What about those parrot-looking people?
Those are the Kinku clowns.
I thought the other ones were the clowns, but these ones.
Yep, they're the clowns. I mean, there's Kinkus, there's
What?
parrots.
So what are these? Clowns too?
There's a big group of them.
Oh, okay. That is creepy as hell. Give me nightmare.
As you
So
finish up,
California didn't show up at all, did they? The other guys, the worker bees.
What?
Yeah. Now, did any of the roadies come to be checked out too? Or
about a
did
third
all
of
of
them.
them? About a third of them? Yeah. Okay. So make note of the ones who didn't. Again. That way we can try to investigate more later. And then just kind of also kind of tell the people what to look for, kind of as we're doing it, kind of tell them what, as they're going through later, things that they can look for to make sure it doesn't show up later on them. Again, just to help Lynn that, this is legitimate what we're doing.
Absolutely.
So that way.
You finish up.
And that way, maybe if the roadies notice it on somebody else, or, well, they not necessarily, but maybe they'll notice something and bring it to our attention. If they see something that seems a little off.
Absolutely. You relay this information. Eventually, Sayun, Sarah, and Fedora come out and just kind of shake their heads. We're not sure if we did it right, but we definitely didn't see anything like stitching or otherwise.
Okay.
Good to hear.
Yep.
If not a little confusing.
Zoomed off says, "All right, everyone, hurry up. Let's get out of here. We got a long day of traveling."
Okay.
When I go back to the trailer, I try to find a little nook in there and try to get some sleep.
Absolutely. You find one.
As we're going back to the trailers, and as we're getting ready to leave, I'm going to see who on that trailer that I went into, if there's anybody driving it or...
Sure, as everybody's packing up, you're paying extra close attention to it, and you watch as a smaller trailer with some pretty stout horses, it comes around and hooks that one to the back of the other trailer, so two in a row with one team of horses. You look up and you see a gentleman driving it. You're unsure who he is, but he's not a roadie.
Which person is he?
Like I said, you don't know who he is. You just recognize him.
Okay, so you don't know if he's one of the acts or anything? Or anything?
Let me check the notes here. I don't think he is. I think he's an assistant. Yeah, like I said, I mean, you don't really know who 2/3 of the people are, what they do, so you'd have to talk with them.
So are we rolling out? Or
Everyone's rolling out if you're not holding it up.
so where in relations is that trailer compared to our trailer?
Y'all are like right in the middle. It's maybe about 5 or 6 from the. It'd be about 15 from the back, roughly, because there's all the roadies trailers. Then there's just a couple more, and then it's there as well.
I thought our trailer was more toward the front.
I remember you saying middle. Maybe it was front. Yeah, I think it was front actually.
It was front.
Either way, logistically, it doesn't matter too much. Unless you were trying to be by a specific trailer, you're just at the front.
Okay.
All right. Animal handling check for who's ever managing the horses. The reins.
Can always try again. I don't have animal handling, but
So it could be 1 or 2 people. So
I'm trying to sleep, so I ain't touching the damn horses. I'm tired.
13.
Excited as a 19. Y'all are okay for the day.
I think you guys are getting the hang of it.
They are.
Yeah.
Is there anything in particular y'all would like to do today on the road?
Gather some of the fairy dust so I can fly.
Yeah, put them in a bottle, shake them up, comes right out. Right thing.
I'm
Is-
sleeping.
Can we do that? Get some fairy dust so we can fly?
I don't think
Instead of
so.
being
Y'all
happy
do
thoughts.
whatever you want. You know.
We'll take Fang and shake him.
Will be the first time I put them in a bottle.
This is true.
It would be the first time you put me in a bottle, sir.
Probably be the last time too.
No, I'll just handle the horses.
Absolutely.
I named this one Blinky, this one Buddy.
Blinky and Buddy.
I thought they had names already.
Nobody
I
named-
changed their names.
Yeah,
I changed their names.
It's now Blinky and Buddy.
It was milk and honey, right?
Okay. If there's nothing y'all would like to do on the road, we can skip to this evening when you're parked and ready to go.
Yep.
Okay. As y'all eventually leave the grove of trees back into the grasslands, eventually you see the coast as it comes into view again. You see the large 100 to 200 foot drops down to the small beaches, the raging waters that crash up against the rocks below. You can feel the sea breeze, smell the salt in the air, and feel the humidity start to change. You can slowly see the grassy lands begin to switch into a slightly more diverse flora. Larger woody type plants, bushes and shrubs, as well as a few berries and things of this nature. And as the day comes to a close, there's a section of kind of rolling hills that y'all begin to kind of wind down like you're heading down towards the coast. And eventually you pull off into this kind of large, like, cave type system that's about 120 or so feet off the ground. The waves sloshing and crashing below. The cave system is pretty large. Imagine like our work building, something like that. It's, many series of smaller rooms. The ceiling in there ranges from maybe 4 or 5 feet in some of the smaller areas, all the way up to like 20 or 30. At first glance, it appears partly natural, partly crafted, and this gives you a very nice break from any weather and a very defensible position. But you're in a cave. It is almost pitch black inside, even though you are not too far from the entrance. There's just little bits of light kind of streaking in. And it is about 20 or so minutes until, maybe an hour, I'll say, until the sun finally rests. Y'all reach this destination at a good time, and it's a planned stop. But as all the caravans kind of set up, and this is the final night before y'all make it to the outskirts of the city. The wagons set up quite a bit further from each other, kind of filling this entire space, and everyone begins to kind of set up their tents. They're doing kind of practice runs, making sure everything is good and ready for the show. The acrobats set up their acrobat things. Medium-sized tents are set up within the middle of the tallest chambers, and lots of lanterns are lit. What would you like to do?
Was I actually able to sleep on the way?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you're good.
Without
You're good. No exhaustion. You're all right.
Excellent.
Okay. I'm going to walk around. You said the roadies are up, setting stuff up, practicing setting up the tents and stuff like that.
The roadies are doing most of the work, but like the acrobats are like, hey, higher, 6 inches higher on this side, So everyone's involved. I would say 95% of the people are preoccupied with their duties at the moment.
Okay. So I'm gonna try where the roadies are at, since 2/3 of them didn't want to be checked out.
Sure.
I'm gonna use detect magic and walk around the roadies and try to see if I can pick up anything as I go through. I'm not saying I'll be able to see all of them, but try to catch as many of the ones that we didn't check out as I can.
I would say with pretty close to 100% confidence, you have checked everyone at the carnival at this point. None of these roadies would have any magical auras emanating from them.
Okay.
So a
Chance to
turtle
check.
and an elf go into a bar. Which one is the bad guy?
Feng, you can check those roadies trailers that we didn't get to.
Yeah, let me go see if I can sneak into one of their trailers while they're out of them.
Absolutely, this would probably be Feng. Let me just tell you, there's a lot of shadows that are being cast. If you would like to shadow step through a window.
Yeah, I'll do some shadow stepping, some stealthing, some
As he's
bouncing around.
doing that, I'm checking. I'll also, as the roadies are setting things up, I'll kind of pay attention to the equipment as they're doing it. If there's anything that looks damaged or anything like that, use mending to kind of help repair.
Oh, okay, that's nice of you.
To kind of, to help distract him and, talk about that stuff. Everything.
Some of the older individuals in the carnival are very appreciative of your help. Many of them say, "You just remind me of the old days at this place. People had more respect." Thank you, sir. You're very helpful.
Okay. And then again, looking to see if there's anything that seems out of place. Anybody?
Sure, give me an insight check.
Nope.
Feng, you shadow step into one of the trailers. Begin to look around.
Yeah, I want to make sure. The first thing, I just want to see if it looks like someone lives there, if it's just a trailer.
Okay, so if you're looking for one that someone lives in, you can. But about 6 of those trailers that you had found, the wagons, they were just housing materials and stuff. So you could go to one of the ones that you know that the roadies live in, or you could go to the material ones.
I want to go to the ones that I know they live in.
Okay. You head over to one of those and you kind of listen at the door. You don't hear anybody inside. Shadow step inside. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for papers, maybe clothes laying around that might have something. Anything that would relate to transformation, or even a bloody weapon.
Okay, looking for smoking gun, so to speak.
Yeah.
Investigation check. Oh yeah, blow on that dice, Chris.
20! I get my roll back too.
Let's see.
Yes! Finally.
Absolutely. You always got to reward these. The living conditions inside these trailers, it doesn't smell very good. There's kind of some pretty dirty laundry, just kind of strewn all about. The beds are not made. There's large gashes and tears in the thin mattresses that are crudely sewn up. This is definitely the life of somebody that didn't have many more options, and this is just something that pays the bills and gives them, half the time off, half the time working. As you begin to kind of search through this individual room, you find a few old, tattered books. You find a number of tools, a few kind of crude weapons. All these things sort of hidden away where it was intended for no one to find them. And you definitely don't see any smoking gun. You don't see anything that's feels like it could have been the murder weapon or anything of that nature. You're very sure of it from this investigation, but you do find a large keyring hidden behind a false panel in the wagon. It has about 20-25 keys on it.
Do I see anything around that looks like needs a key to open?
Not in this one, no.
Okay, I just clocked the location of this key ring. I put the panel back. And,
Absolutely.
And I go to the next trailer.
Okay. Shadow step outside, look around. Shadow step into the next one. Same song and dance here. No keys, but pretty much the same basic things. Poor living conditions, kind of smelly, gross.
So nothing.
You're certain that there's nothing in here that is pointing you in a direction of anyone that is guilty.
How many other trailers are over there that we didn't check at all?
So there's one more living, and there would be pretty much 4 more non-living ones.
Let me try the last living one.
Same song and dance. Nothing.
It's probably not the freaking. I knew it was the freaking elf.
You knew it was
Okay,
what?
I just have a feeling it's that elf bitch for some reason in my head. All right, let me check whatever other trailers I can over there that are the non-living ones.
Sure, as you hop inside of them, there's a lot of clothing. If you rifle through those at a pretty quick glance, you're not noticing any sewn in runes. There are a number of locked chests that you could attempt to open up. They've been heavily cleared out as a lot of the materials are being used to set up the carnival outside test run. You don't find any more false panels. You don't really find anything else in all of them. They just all have a number of locked chests that are consistent with something that contains clothing, but you're unsure.
I open up some of the chests.
Thieves' tools check.
Well, you had a key ring.
I don't need the damn keyring. 25.
Click.
I look through the clothes and
Yeah.
I open it. And
You open it. It's trapped. You're caught in a net. Inescapable. You can never leave. No. As you rifle through this one, there are a number of articles of clothing, as well as some very fine, sharpened knives. There's a set of china and silverware that looks like it would be used for maybe a more formal plated dinner. None of these have any blood on them or anything of that nature. There's not one missing.
I close it.
Okay.
Any other chest I can look at? Or
Yeah, there's 7, 8 of them. Do you want to just try to pop them all open?
Yeah, let me just try to pop them open.
Yeah, I'll say just give me one more sleight of hand.
17.
On a 17, you're able to pop open most of them. I would say there's a couple that you weren't able to get. There was 2. Most of these are housing items that are a little bit more valuable. There's lots of jewelry, probably used for parts of the show. Finer bits of clothing that range in size from child up to Goliath. You rifle through all of them. No runes, nothing sewn in. Things of that nature. Things with a little bit more value are stored in these.
And I just close them all back up, make them look like I haven't been there, and
Click.
head out of the area since there's nothing there.
Yep, nice.
And I go back and I tell the guys, I don't think it's the roadies. I've searched everything, and there's nothing in any of the roadies where they live or in the other things that look like they would be any part of this.
Not the suspects.
Yeah, the only suspects I guess we would have left is whoever didn't show up besides the roadies.
So, the priest, the chef, and the elf.
Yep, that's what it looks like.
Well, elf, fey type creature.
Still an elf.
Well, I mean, I guess.
Can I sneak into?
I mean, a normal elf. Other elves that I've seen didn't have. Did they give off the same vibe as this fey one did?
Occasionally, due to circumstances like the war comet or just certain people's lineages, they can have a very faint fey sense. Someone like Feng gives off a very faint sense of fey. Clario, on the other hand, is very strongly fey, meaning that she has spent a lot of her life in the fey realm and was most likely born there.
Okay.
She is quite old.
Yes.
Is that Turtle in his cabin, or is he kind of out?
He's got like a setup where he's cooking a bunch of stuff. He's preparing things that can be preserved. He's making like hardtack and things of that nature that last a little bit longer. He's making sure that the crew has plenty of food for the upcoming stay, and he's doing an inventory of everything to make sure they know how much to buy as they go into the town.
Is there any of the trailers that are left of those 3 that they're not closer around or paying attention to?
Yeah, Chet's trailer, you could just go inside. You know no one's in there. The Acrobats sets of trailers, there's a lot of people in that family, so you could maybe check it out. Brother Justin would have a series of trailers, part of his little revival. You'd have to do a little bit more investigation.
So you said I could check out the chef's trailer?
That one, Chet's the only one that lives in there, as far as you've been able to discern, so.
So I kind of sneak in there and check out his trailer, try to knock him off the list.
Shadow stuff inside. What are you looking for? Same stuff? Smoking gun?
Yep, smoking gun type stuff, yep.
Okay, go for it. Give it an investigation.
Maybe worth trying to check out the swordsman too, since he has swords. Six.
What'd you get, Feng?
I think you're muted, Chris. Yep, you're muted.
Chris is at an 11. Got nothing.
Bye.
Am I still muted?
No, you're
You're
good now.
now.
11. I re-rolled the 7.
On 11, you look through there. I mean, there's a lot of knives. He's got a lot of them. You'd be unable to tell if one was missing or not, just due to the sheer number. A quick look.
Looking at the clothes and seeing if I can find them ripped pages.
Yep, as a turtle, he does not wear much clothes.
Any ripped pages around?
No more pages.
Okay, I get out of there. Whoop, or whatever sound you make for my blinking away.
Okay.
So I don't
Yeah.
think it's the turtle. I go over toward where the priest is and I look around to see if I can see his location.
You head around to the revival area. You see Brother Justin, his wife, as well as a handful of members of the group that are all having a small little service. It's underway. Yep, you see 3 trailers, all of them with doors wide open.
And where are they in relation to the trailer?
The trailers are like the back right of the area, so like you could definitely sneak in, but you would not have a visual on them moving in your direction.
But I'd probably hear them if they were coming close. Huh?
Possibly. It is semi-loud, echoey in this chamber, so
So I guess
Okay.
what trailer are you going to now?
Now I'm going to check the priest trailers because I know it ain't the turtle. There's
Okay,
2.
so did you tell us you're going to check his?
I go back and tell them that I didn't see anything in the turtle trailer, and I'm going to. The priest has 3 trailers, and they're doing some kind of religious thing out front. But I think I can sneak in and at least take a look in those. So I'm going to tell you guys that.
So the priest is giving some kind of sermon thing?
Sermon.
yes.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, well, I'm going to go listen to the sermon while he's in there.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I sneak around and into one of them.
Alright, go ahead and give me investigation check.
15.
On a 15, there are a number of tomes within one of these trailers. We'll say this is for all 3 of them. Lots of clothing, but it's very similar clothing. Brother Justin and his wife both share and his sister rather both share a trailer, and then there's 2 other trailers that houses most of their items that they would have for their tents and stuff. He kind of views it as like the roadies don't get to help. This is what we do. This is part of our thing. There's ceremony, there's pomp and circumstance, and those sorts of things that lead to the way that the revivals and all of that are held. As you look around, the only thing of real note is a number of tomes that are seemingly religious, but you're not really an expert.
So they don't look like they have anything to do with magic. They're more on religion.
A lot of tomes have to do with magic, religious tomes, but
And I take the tomes and just separate the pages, see if any other pages fall out that have been ripped.
oh, interesting. Give me a D100.
I guess I'll have to do that on it. How do I do that with dice?
You should have a 10 and a
Yeah, so
You
you,
said-
you have
and a
2D10,
Yeah,
a single digit and a double digit one.
yeah, I got a double digit and a single digit. Yep. Okay, so I got a double digit and a single digit one.
Yep, roll them at the same time.
300.
Nope, 30.
Okay.
Nice guess, 300. All right. You search through the books. You can't individually go through every page. But as you rifle through, yeah, lots of pages are starting to fall out, and you're quickly realizing that you're not really sure exactly where they went. And as you take a brief glance at them, they appear to be sermon notes and things of that nature, specifically referencing certain pages.
Nothing with runes on them or anything.
I mean, you had like 10 pages fall out, this all over the floor. Like,
And picking them up, trying to look at them.
yeah, you pick them up, looked at them. I mean, unless you have a way to detect magic, they don't appear to be magical.
While I'm
I
out there
think that-
listening to the sermon,
I stick them
use-
into my shirt.
Okay.
you said it's his wife and his sister.
Excuse me. Yeah. So he's not married. It's his sister. Yes.
Okay, so while he's doing the sermon and
Sister
listening to
wife.
that, one is I'm gonna listen to, from a religious standpoint, does it make sense what he's saying? Is there any weird vibes from it? But then I'm also going to cast Detect Magic, see if I see anything on him since he was not, part of the check earlier.
Okay. Yeah. Give me a religion check to check for what's going on here.
17.
On a 17, based on this gentleman's age, he seems relatively wise. It appears that he's probably dedicated his entire life to being a priest and a religious figure, and his sermon kind of resonates with you in many ways. You could say that from a religious standpoint, you might feel a bit of disagreement in some of the ideologies that he discusses, but in terms of how legit it sounds, it seems very well put together, very well thought through.
Do I recognize the symbol he's wearing? Or what deity he follows?
He, in particular, I would say, would probably be referencing numerous deities in his discussions. His beliefs would be that, there's a deity for this, a deity for this, a deity for this. The strongest iconography you see on him and some of the articles would be Gerbil, the god of death.
Gerbil is the god of death?
Jerg.
Oh.
Not Gerbil.
You say Jurg?
Yeah. Let me just snap it in the chat. The spelling.
I mean, because mine is Jurgal. Which is
Yeah, that's the same. That's how it's pronounced. There are two pronunciations.
So he follows that one too?
That is the iconography you see. He's not directly associated with a deity, but you see this iconography pretty often on a few of the things. Like I said, it's a revival. He's not a cleric of fill in the blank.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah, preacher.
You preach it.
So he has different ones that he uses for different
Yeah. So
stories or whatever.
Yeah, let's say you've probably seen him a few times now. You've seen him donning very different religious symbols. You haven't been paying too much attention. Is probably not of too much interest to you. But now that you think about it, every day probably has slightly different ones. Up on the altar, you see references to many different deities of all kinds of different walks of life. Some are associated with, I would say, neutral. Some are good. Some are chaotic. It's more of his message is more of a balance as opposed to doing good or not doing evil.
Okay. As he finishes up, I'm gonna walk up to the area where he's at, and I'm gonna say, "You follow a strange path,
Oh,
not dedicated to one."
there are too many good teachings. I couldn't choose.
Said a strange.
I see
But
that you were.
there's some interest in that.
I see that you were drawn to my sermon today. Are you a follower of?
Well, I mean, I have mine, Durgal's holy symbol. I wear that, and it is prominently displayed.
It appears that your deity has called you here today. Do you wish to pray together, or any questions?
No, just an interest. As you said, there are different things. Always open to learning. See how others, what path they follow, how they see things. So I'll discuss a few things with him as we go through, in regards to my deity and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
with Durgal.
he tells you a few things that it's not that you don't know them. It's just maybe a different perspective on your deity. That may or may not be enlightening to you. Up to you, Paul. But he also tries to discuss the balance amongst other deities whose domains would be the antithesis of Chagall's.
Okay, part of what I'm doing is also trying to get a feel for him to see if he's off in any way, or if he seems true to what he does. I mean, it doesn't necessarily preclude him.
Sure. Give me an insight check. At this point, Feng, unless you want to rifle through books for longer.
Be a 19. And one thing I'm looking forward is any of them. I mean, does he have any symbols, whether I can recognize it or not, of any of the deities that are more in the murderous nature?
Other than Dragal, currently you don't see any symbols that would be alarming. On a 19, you said, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. On a 19, you can definitely see that his ideological openness could be quite dangerous, as if one god's followings or one god's teachings don't quite suit his fancy, he could easily dismiss it as needing balance and discussing something quite opposite. So he does, maybe in his sermon and through your discussions, he would talk a lot about renewal, life, rebirth, change. Those are all concepts that a god of life could easily talk about, as well as a god of death and murder. Murder could serve many purposes. Unless you directly bring up some of the more gray areas, he would not directly discuss him. But outside of 19, you would just understand his ideology could probably very easily be swayed in whatever suited his fancy, because he's not very consistent in his viewpoints.
Okay.
So I
And
guess
part of it is, like I said, leaning to see how his feelings are on like death. To me, everything follows through that. Does his leaning is anything as far as pushing death or
Sure.
or
If you discuss those things.
very roundabout way, not trying
Yeah,
to.
no, I understand. I understand. Maybe you bring up something about cycles. The cycle of life and things of this nature. You would probably say something through my years of dedication to teaching and helping those in this carnival life. Seeing people enter, people leave. Some pass on to their respective realms willingly and unwillingly. I think it is a beautiful thing to accept it for what it is. I prefer to keep my involvement at a distance and support everyone equally. I don't have friends here, and I don't have enemies either. And I hope that I can push you in your journey as a religious man, and maybe you can push me as well.
Okay, any weird vibe or
Insight.
21?
The more you talk to him, you're having this memory popping up. Kind of this vague, very vague remembrance of a large revival. Numerous kids, adults, elderly. You feel as if in the memory you're smaller, younger. And there's someone, not this individual, but someone in the front preaching, talking, teaching. You kind of shake it off because you're noticing you're not listening to what he's saying, and as you kind of shake it off, and it maybe appears if your eyes were opened to something new, you can see his eyebrow kind of pop up. Well, it's been a pleasure to meet you, but I've got much to do. Many more people to talk to.
I'll thank him for his time. And at this point, walk and, I guess say his name goodbye or farewell or something like that, loud enough so if Feng is still in there, he can maybe hear.
Yeah.
That's breaking up.
Feng, you're like squishing the papers. Then you hear a fixed voice.
and then boop.
You're out of there. Okay.
So I head back to the others
All right.
so I could look at the papers better and say, this is all I found in the book, but it looks like sermons to me, but I don't know if there's something magic in this or not. So I take the papers out and I just put them down in our trailer. See if any of them can tell anything.
Well, I'll relate what insights I had from talking to him. Still a little bit uneasy, but not a direct vibe of wrongness. I'll look through the papers and see if there's anything that we can notice.
They're pretty extensive notes, some written in kind of a shorthand. They're also specifically referencing lines of a book that you do not have. If you would like to spend a considerable amount of time, you can try to gain some insight, but at a brief glance, they appear to just be referencing different deities, different domains, talking a lot about balance, and just referencing kind of opposing viewpoints.
Okay, so none of them, again, from a a god that does murder or anything like that?
There's no specific mentions to a god, but you're not really catching any murder is good or like I should murder or someone else should murder. You're not really catching those vibes or insight to what they're saying.
Okay.
Other than that, I didn't see anything else in his trailer that would lean toward him. So we have the elf left.
Are they doing like a trial show tonight?
A
Warm-up
trial setup to make sure everything is good, because tomorrow night y'all will be actually outside the city, and then that following day people will start to come to the show. So
Okay. So I don't know about where the acrobats are in their process of setting things up, or if they're done back with their trailers.
So everyone's trailer is associated specifically with their area, so the trailers will all be close. The acrobats, there's like 10 of them, so you can try to clock each of them, but a lot of them are trapezing. Some are in like the main tents that they've set up working. But you don't know where all of them are. As a group, you could probably determine that, but individually, that would be quite difficult.
So did most of the acrobats were willing to be checked out, except for the...
Except Clario.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just, I guess, for me, I mean, I'll just watch them for a little bit, trying to get an idea where, different people have their different trailers as they're coming and going, but not to try to be obtrusive, more as, again, in a line that we're supposed to be guarding, so looking around, walking around, just trying to make sure things are safe. If there's anything that's out of place, but being, well, I'm being perceptive to what's going on around me and stuff.
Alright, give me a perception check. This will encompass the majority of the night until you all rest.
22.
Very nice. Keep that in mind. Anybody else got anything they want to do?
Could you give me a warning if you see anyone going near the trailer?
What?
Anyone around the elf trailer? I want to try to sneak in there, but I want to listen and see if anyone sounds like they're in there. Maybe pop in and do a cursory look. As long as
did we see the elf person out about doing things? So I know you said that not all of them were there.
I'll say, there are times you see her, at times you don't, so if you would specifically like to track her, I'll say at the moment she would be in the...
No, because I don't want to be drawing attention to one thing.
Okay.
And if I try to track her or follow her, that's too much of a chance that can set off vibes. Again, like I said, just trying to act as a guard, trying to keep the place safe, trying to do that. Again, as I'm going through, though, I'll stop and look at things to see if there's anything that I can do mending on, repairs on their equipment, things like that. That way it gives me an opportunity to stop and listen and then look a little bit more. That type of stuff.
Absolutely. Feng, what's your plan?
I want to try to sneak into the trailer without being seen.
You just spot Clario in the main tents, kind of performing her acrobat duties as well as coaching her younger ones.
So I head toward the trailer sneakily and see if I hear anything going on in the trailer.
You don't hear anything.
Okay, so I sneak in the trailer, shadow step for as sneaky as I can be.
Right inside. What you looking for?
Looking for her clothes specifically to see if I can find any of the, because she's extra tall or whatever.
She's
right?
quite tall for an elf, yeah.
I look for the tallest clothes and I just try to see if I can find any of the symbols on them, if there's any papers that look like they've been ripped out of a book,
Sure, there's a couple of panels that look like they would have been a part of the another trailer's interior that have been like taken off, and they've been kind of screwed, or excuse me, nailed into the floor and the ceiling of the wagon, and down in these slots that are created where they're nailed, there's like a bar, and this bar is hanging a number of clothing items. It's a pretty efficient way to store things, as well as kind of keep the clothes out of the way. Pretty difficult for you to get in there and check all of them, even at your size. But if you would like to give it a go, investigation. Paul, there's numerous euphoric and kind of memorable moments that just kind of hit you.
You said working with younger ones. In particular, any of them have eyes that make me think of the trailer?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. What you got, Chris?
12.
Blue. Okay. On a 12, you find 2 or 3 outfits. Nothing.
I don't see any papers around in the pockets of them or anything.
No. There's some books in here. Quick glance, they appear to be fiction.
Alright, I guess I just pop back out. We gotta actually check the person, I guess. I don't see any hidden, like, doors or anything where something could be
Not with
in.
12.
Or... No, with a freaking 12. Okay, whoop back out. Crap. I didn't find anything in any of the trailers. But I'm still more suspicious of the elf for some reason.
I mean, you think your Black Panther had anything to do with it?
That's a possibility too. I'm not sure what that Black Panther was. But if we were gonna watch anyone, I think we'd watch the elf. She's always seemed a little weird to me.
So did the wound on the neck, did it look like a clean cut, or did it look like a claw tear?
We couldn't tell.
Like something very sharp.
It was very sharp.
Yep.
Could have been a claw, but it has to be a very sharp claw. So,
Okay.
very particular type.
Sure, it's not the guy that carries swords everywhere.
Well, you guys searched his body.
It was a Jabberwocky claw.
A Jabberwocky claw. Okay.
You're on.
Yes, I mean, I'm not saying it can't be. It's not the sword guy, and I'm not saying we shouldn't, check more on that. Again, like I said before, I'm trying not to, make things look weird that we're doing something.
Yeah, I'm out of ideas. I wouldn't assume it's the elf lady because she's been here for hundreds of years. And if they're going to disguise themselves as somebody, I doubt it would be somebody who's been here for hundreds of years and is going to continue to be here for the foreseeable future.
So the sword guy, again, I mean, if he's out there practicing his stuff, somebody none of us use swords, though, do we?
I use a spear.
So, if somebody uses a sword, if they want to go watch him do his show, or, do his thing, and, show interest in the swordsmanship, they kind of help, talk to him or stuff like that to allow Feng a chance to go check his trailer out.
I'll go talk to him.
To show an interest, but, not to act like you're trying to distract him or keep him occupied, but,
I want to see if he can swallow my spear. That come out wrong. It came out so wrong.
Oh, that's bad.
The one thing as I'm walking around, I will always circle around the trailer that I entered to see if there's anybody around it.
Let me ask you this. So, is there anything that in particular you need to do before it is nighttime as an entire group? Otherwise, we can kind of fast track and then we can run through these perception checks and things like that, along with the watches.
Yeah, we can do the part with, like, say, for what I'm talking about. You can always get with me later and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I just let you know
we'll tell you
stuff.
some specifics, but just because the watches take a couple seconds to roll and stuff, so we can move through those and do things in an order that's a little bit quicker. So, because I'll say just throughout the rest of the day, you're not really seeing anything that sets anybody off. So unless you really want to talk with somebody or you're looking for something extremely specific, yeah, during the day you don't see anybody coming near your trailer that you would made a connection with.
Okay.
First
So
watch.
nobody shows any interest in it. Do I find the guy that hooks up to it and pulls it?
Yeah. I mean, you've seen him multiple times. Yeah.
Okay, just introduce myself to him a little bit. Talk to him, not directly about the trailer, just to talk and ask a few questions about him. Him.
Nice to meet you, Vic. The name's Jonesy. I kind of help make sure everything works around here.
But he's not one of the roadie people.
I'm in charge of the roadies, but I'm not one of them. I just, behind the scenes, I'm the contract manager, It's an easy job. But nice to meet you, Vic. Anyway.
I guess go by his trailer, see if there's anything that needs to be mended on it.
Oh, actually, the axle has got a little break here, if you don't mind. That'd be wonderful.
Okay, like I said, do a little bit, just kind of ingratiate myself to him a little bit. Again, not trying to do anything suspicious, but just trying to learn and pick up as much as I can.
Absolutely. He's appreciative. You do a little bit of mendings here and there, a couple ropes that Feng, you help fix.
Okay.
And the hustle and bustle slowly settles down as everyone gets ready to sleep. You can hear the waves crashing against the cliff faces outside of the caves as the tides slowly begin to change. You can hear the howling winds as they whistle through small holes in the caverns. What would you like to do for your watches tonight?
I'll take first watch.
Okay. Having the kids with y'all as well.
I think so.
Okay. So Feng and who else on the first watch? We can roll those.
I'll be on the second one.
Well, I'll do the third watch again, but the first part of the first watch, I'm going to go back to that trailer, to the door. And like I said, we can talk about that a little bit later and stuff, but for the first part of it and stuff.
Sure. Absolutely. Feng, do you have any of the kids with you?
I'm with Art and
Yeah, we have Sarah with us.
Okay. Feng, Art, and Sarah. Got it. Roll them.
14.
15.
Hey, 22. As you walk around, there's not too much that piques your interest. A few stragglers still working on some other things in the first part of the night. No one seems to be moving very far. Any noise echoes through the caverns for quite some distance, slowly getting muffled into an indistinguishable sound. and your watch goes by without any issue. Second watch.
Okie dokie.
So Saito.
And take the
We'll
other
take-
two.
Yeah.
Two of the young ones.
Yeah.
Alright, Saito, we got. So you still have one young one not accounted for. So third watch if you want.
13.
Okay. Second watch goes by without any issue. Third watch.
22.
21.
Third watch goes by without an issue. Okay. In the morning, people get up a little bit earlier than normal, slowly begin to unpack everything, carefully placing all of their stuff back in the trailers, making sure to not damage, tear, rip. They're taking inventory, packing things in very specific locations. All of a sudden, this kind of semi-disheveled carnival becomes very organized as they're getting ready to set for their show. Everything gets put into the wagons, and they holler at y'all to get in the cart and continue on the way. You have one more day of travel until you make it to the outskirts of the city. Animal handling check for one or two of y'all, managing the horses.
Alright. Might as well finish it off.
Mm-hmm.
You should be better at it now.
Right? Maybe I'll learn something.
19.
I have a 14.
Nice. Very well done. Alright, so before we end the session, is there anything y'all would like to do on the way to the outside of Port Umberley? Y'all will be arriving kind of in the evenings, so if you wanted to head into town, you would probably want to do that in the morning.
At this point, I'm not even certain whoever the person is this anymore, so I'm out of ideas.
Yeah, I'm out of ideas also at this point.
Well, I know Saito was going to go talk or check out the sword guy, so I don't know if his trailer was investigated while that was going on and stuff. But for me in the trailer, I'll write up what I was going to do and I'll send it to you.
Yeah, since me and Michael will look over it.
Well, yo, dude, that's cool. Can you swallow this spear?
Yeah, I mean, if you did want to go talk to him and someone investigate his trailer, we can retcon, do that really quick.
Well, I know Saito was going to go see if he can swallow his spear. That's what he said.
Well, I assumed it was a joke.
I guess the last check when they were doing that, well, he was there. We did detect, didn't see. Yeah.
Yeah, you're pretty confident at this point that Detect Evil and Good and Detect Magic have been cast on pretty much everybody unless they are insignificant in terms of status in the carnival.
And search most of the trailers.
Yeah, we've checked almost everybody also, so I mean, unless it's management or a panther, I am out of ideas.
Yeah, and I even looked at Zoomed Off's neck and I didn't see anything.
I guess the only other thing is at night, I mean, has anybody noticed any panther tracks or has it been following us? stay with the carnival? Is there any panthers as part of this carnival?
The only cats would be tigers. There are 3 tigers.
And this was a black panther with yellow eyes.
Does anybody in the carnival, as we've gone through, anybody have yellow eyes?
I think the bugbear would. A couple of the orcs would have yellow eyes. Half orcs, members of the roadie crew.
The clowns have yellow eyes.
Yes, some of the clowns might. I think the picture.
Oh yeah, right there
yeah,
does.
yeah, they might have them as well. Yeah. It's
Okay.
a very typical color for something maybe a little bit closer to a beast than a human.
Where's Glassjaw? What is he doing? He's got yellow eyes.
Guys, please don't accuse me of anything. I'm innocent, I swear. Brother Drog would never, and I would never do anything to hurt anyone.
Are you sure it's not your brother?
Of
He
course
has
it's
been
not.
absent as of lately.
Okay. Has talking to Zundorf asked questions about, who has joined the carnival either shortly before the strongman did or after did. Get some names there.
Sure, I need a little bit of time to compile that list, but we can do it. There's certainly a handful of members, probably less than 10 for sure, that have joined after him. In terms of newbies to the carnival, it would just be your group and then the 4 kids.
Yeah, it's just more, like I said, if somebody had joined before he did and he joined, maybe he was searching for something and he was getting too close to the person that he was looking for, or maybe he was running from something and somebody who had joined after him. Just trying to tie some pieces together, see if there's any basically names to to try to help steer.
Yeah, I'll have that as an action item for Michael and myself to provide you a list. So what you're asking in particular, Paul, is people that joined after, and then that would,
Before.
Before would just be the rest.
Well, I mean, not the whole, not.
Oh, you mean recent, like around the same time?
Yeah, like a few months before.
I got you. Okay. I understand. Okay.
I mean, because maybe it was something with revenge that was.
We didn't check those kids' trailers.
They're too stupid to do something like that.
We did check them.
Yeah, well, we checked. Yeah, but we didn't check their trailer. I mean, they were there when it happened and supposedly didn't see it.
Yeah,
They're all asleep.
You think, but that is something we should check a little bit more detail too. I mean, are they part of the guild that we're in?
No.
Yep.
No.
I thought they are.
No, they joined the Midnight Horse.
That's what I was thinking. They did the other one and stuff. So again, at least is there something else going on from that?
Yeah, so we'll have to. I would like to search their trailer too when we get a chance.
Anyway, I guess if it was them, they would need to transform themselves because nobody knows them anyway.
Right. But it doesn't mean they weren't sent to go look
doing
for.
it for their
We don't have
guild.
to worry about them leaving in town because they're going to stick with us anyway.
But it doesn't mean that they didn't have a mission to do something and to gather something from that person too. We have
I'm just
missions.
saying, we don't have to worry about losing them in the next town if it is them.
Yeah.
Well, we do have to worry about them handing off whatever they found in the next town if their guild is also there.
Really.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that it gives us things to start other avenues of investigation.
Yep.
All right. So they kind of let you know the beginning of the next session, I guess, some of the things we'll have to look into.
As a note here, so next Friday I'll be out of town, but the 19th, and kind of for a long time, I will be in town. So no session next week, but we'll play on the 19th.
Okay.
Sounds
Alright.
good.
Okay.
All right, y'all got a lot to discuss, a lot to figure out. Thanks for playing, guys.
Alrighty.